And some difficulties. How's at control room? We're good. I'll just hold it under my chin. All right. So I was talking about my three sisters being upset about that, and we had such a great mother, and she ended up being institutionalized, and she didn't talk for 3 years, but I'd still go to visit her. And now when people know so much about Alzheimer's and how big of a disease it is, back then in the 80s, they hardly knew what it was about. So it was nobody knew much about it. And I was lucky. My ex-sister-in-law worked at the VA hospital, and she was the head nurse there. And here they had Alzheimer patients in the VA. So she gave me information so I could understand the different stages you go through Alzheimer's. And my mom, from when she was diagnosed at 49 years old, she went through it in like 5.5 years after that. So she went through the stages quickly. They had to put a feeding tube in her 2 years before she passed. We didn't know it was only good for 1 year, so they had to do a second feeding tube in her because she couldn't swallow or talk or anything. And she didn't know anybody was there because the mind just is erased. And it's just so sad. And I would just go there out of respect for her. So it's a very touching, heartfelt day for me. And the theme of my thing is, if you just donate $1 or if you have more, I'm more than thankful to see that. And any money that I can get for the Alzheimer's Association will help others so they don't have to have the problem that I had with my mother and having her die today. So we need your help out there, and I appreciate you tuning in. We already collected $150 to get started. We got a few things against us: nice weather, picnics, parties, graduations, kids going back to school, Pirates, Steeler game, all in Pittsburgh. But as Alan Levine, the talking machine, I'm a positive guy. We're going to power through this, and we're looking at doing this for 3 hours. So I'm a little bit ready here to do that. And we're going to have some different graphics that will show up how you can donate, and donate as little as $1, $10, whatever you can do. It's appreciated. It all adds up. My goal was to get $1,000. Last year I was surprised. We got $1,186, so I thanked everybody then, and I thanked the few people that have already donated here. So we're going to try to get some more money. I'm going to have Nathaniel from the Alzheimer's Association. He's supposed to come in sometime later on. He has another event to go to, so he'll be here. And we'll get some more information on that sound there. So
we're good. Keep going.
All right. As you know, I can fly by the seat of my pants, but when you can't hear me and I'm not talking, I'm in trouble. So we'll move on with that. We have other people here. And I actually have one of my best friends, Skeets Lewandowski's here. If somebody could find him here, my son Drew's here. He told me he's going to make a donation. So I don't know if it's $1 or $100, but Skeets, come on in, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, my man, what's up?
Have a seat and grab a mic.
Awesome machine.
We got Skeets here. This is my man, long time. He's a great boxing guy, does all kind of work on cars.
Testing, 1, 2.
Is he okay?
Hello. Is
We
that
good?
better?
They're working on that. We'll see if he's okay. Can Skeets talk? This is live TV. Say hello, Skeets.
Hello, how you doing? Alan
Tell him
Levine.
I'm doing great. Tell him who you are.
Oh, well, I'm Steve Lewandowski. They call me Skeets. Oh, I'm looking up here. I'm trying to read.
No. You're on. Does he look at Vinny's camera?
Oh, over here, okay.
Yeah, just smile to the camera. Look at this guy. He's lost weight and everything. He's ready to go back in the ring. He's a boxing trainer and coach, referee, timekeeper.
Timekeeping. I built the ring before. I tore it down, had fighters, trained them. I did everything in boxing just about.
Hold it. How about this? I found out after I knew Skeets about a year. You know, Golden Gloves has been around 100 years now. They just had their anniversary. Guess who I'm sitting next to? A legendary boxer. He has the quickest knockout in Golden Glove history. You know, all these pro boxers have been there, Muhammad Ali and everybody. This guy from Finleyville, Skeets, has the record. Tell him, Skeets.
Yeah, well, I
It's
don't know.
good. Give
I
the
don't know
story.
if it was the fastest ever, but it was a 13-second knockout. I'm not sure.
Well,
It took 10 to count 'em out.
it's the fastest.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But yeah, no, the fight come on, the bell rang, and I just went right at him. I threw the old 1-2 hard as I could. That hard jab, hard right hand.
Watch that right hand.
Oh, yeah.
It's like iron. There he is. Look at the straight punch that he throws. For all you young kids, if you're
Straight.
watching, that's how it is there.
Straight punches.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
But yeah, no, thanks for saying that, Alan Levine. But that was probably one of my top accomplishments ever in the Golden Gloves. And I also won the Golden Glove in '84 as a novice and '85 as an open fighter.
Well, I didn't know that, Skeets.
Yeah,
We're learning more
yeah.
about Skeets. I've interviewed him about a half dozen times when we were on location, all kind of different places.
Yeah.
He brought boxers on there.
Yeah.
Three of the favorite boxers he brought in were Mexicans.
Oh yeah, the Gonzalez family.
What
Tough
a family. Their
yeah.
mother and father, I'm friends with them.
Great people, great people. And they had Gus, Jairo, and Sandra. And they all fought, and they, I think they all won the gloves that year.
I think they did,
I think
yeah.
they all did win
And the
gloves.
daughter, she surprised the
Oh.
heck out of me with how strong and powerful
Oh,
she was.
yeah,
And they
big
all
hitter,
worked hard.
big hitter.
And my favorite's Jairo, because they call him Polo. They call him Chicken. In
Yeah.
Mexico, a chicken's a respected bird.
That's his nickname, Pollo, yeah. And, yeah, I don't know why we think up here in America why chicken, you're scared if you call somebody a chicken. It's like you
Somebody
want to run away.
well, they see him
But-
running away from wolves and stuff.
Well, sure, so will I.
You're scared.
Yeah.
Skeets means you're scared.
Oh, but, no, but, yeah, what was we just talking about?
We were talking about
Pollo.
Pollo.
Pollo, yeah, okay, yeah, going, yeah.
And he was a
Pollo's-
good fighter. He was a little skinny kid, and then he grew up.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's nice when these kids come to your gym when they're in high school because you know they're going to stick around for a few years.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
No,
it's for the ones that like it now, the boxing, because it's not for everyone.
Right, and we
once-
filmed their boxing matches and stuff. And,
Oh, yeah.
and they had fun. And Smoking Jim and I, he does the play-by-play, and I do the color.
Right.
And we had fun, interacting with them. And
Sure.
we're all about people we know, so we're a little prejudiced.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
root for the guys that we know are working hard, and if somebody shows them up, we salute you. I
Sure,
appreciate
sure.
everybody that boxes. I played baseball and football. I didn't want to get hit in the head, and that's why I didn't play it, or even MMA. So I wasn't the brightest guy, but I played center on my high school team, was a starting center, and guess what? I got hit in the head on every play,
Yes. Oh, definitely.
and I didn't want to
Definitely.
box, but I had a helmet on.
Yeah.
And you guys wear headgear when they're young.
Well, sure. Yeah, that's for the protection. Yeah, for the kids.
Yeah, it's all about the kids.
Yeah, sure. And then they fight with the bigger gloves, too.
No doubt. You still
Yeah,
helping
it's
with
all-
boxing?
Yeah. I
Tell them
still-
where you help at.
I go to the Bronson House up in Washington, PA, off of Jefferson Avenue. That's been up here since 1940. They had a boxing program up here. The Bronson House, that is.
No, it's great. We even got invited to do boxing with the Conleys. Jack Conley's legendary.
Yeah.
His brothers are good fighters. Matt
Right.
Conway was a champ.
Matt, yeah, Mike was another tough one. Then you had the Tonka truck, Sean Conway. He's
Yeah.
doing the tough man now. Or not the tough man, the strong man.
Yeah.
Carrying them barrels around.
You got to give them
all that.
credit. These
Oh,
guys
they're
work
tough.
hard.
Oh, they sure do. They know how to compete.
And they listen
Good
to
family.
Skeets.
That's another good family, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conways. They're good
You know, it's a
people. Tough
violent
fighters. Tough
yeah, it's a
fighters.
violent sport, but sometimes they don't have more than one parent, or they got parents on drugs,
Yeah,
and it helps
yeah.
bring them up where they can
Right.
learn a skill. And some have gone on to military careers, gone on to college, gone on to business, where they didn't have a chance with what they were growing up. That's why I support boxing trainers and coaches. They're bringing people up to be somebody.
Yeah, right. And it is something, like you says, you teach these kids. And out of all the kids you teach, you're lucky if you get maybe 2 or 3 out of 100 kids that actually end up fighting as a professional fighter. Most of the kids fight when they're young and still in high
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Then after high school, then they get on with their life. They get to go to
They
college.
find girls, they find work.
Yeah, work and whatever. So, yeah, like you say, now boxing, only about 2% of all them kids.
Wow,
actually.
that's amazing.
Well, like you was saying, all the people trying out for the NFL and the baseball,
Yeah.
only a few percent of them make it.
Right,
too. You know,
right.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, I told him my story. Growing up with Bruce Gradkowski Sr., he had a couple boys and a couple girls, and both of his sons made it to the NFL. Wow. Young Bruce Gradkowski was a starting quarterback and backup quarterback for the Steelers. So that's one son, his oldest son, made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Then his youngest son, Gino, he got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, and we're like, will he play for that? He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah.
Not only he play with them, he won a Super Bowl in his
Wow.
rookie year.
Wow,
now,
man.
what's the odds of two kids from one family going to the NFL?
Wow. Yeah, what is the odds on that?
Astronomical.
Google that.
Let
Put
me
it in
Google.
Google and it'll let you know.
1 in 2 billion.
Okay, that sounds right.
No, and that's how it goes. Now, I know you're pressed for time. You're going to some great fights. What
Yeah.
fights are you seeing tonight? Because they're my guys at Integrity Fight Management.
All Pittsburgh fighters. Like I said, I watch all fight, all the professionals, and my favorite fighters are the Pittsburgh fighters. And what it is, I watch them all grow up as kids fighting and into young men turning pro. Yeah, that's
Well, he doesn't brag a lot, but he helps train the kids, and he
Yeah.
teaches them how to be good people and boxers, and to
Right.
pick up towels and clean up after yourself and
Oh
all
yeah,
that stuff.
but yeah,
No,
clean
I'm
that
just
gym up. No, that gym
I'm-
better be cleaned up.
no, I'm bringing it up because you've
Yeah.
told me that.
Well, sure, because then they leave these water bottles half full. Yeah,
I'm drinking
everywhere.
mine
They're
today.
on the shelves over here, up there in the corner.
Right.
Clean that up.
Skeets cracks the whip.
Yeah. Well, then another thing I like to tell these kids when they very first come to the gym,
Yeah, lay it on them.
why you want to fight? You could be playing hoop, you could be playing football,
Yeah.
baseball, soccer, but what makes you want to be a fighter? And oh well.
We got your camera there. Skeets, you're exclusive. Get that mic loosened
Yeah,
up.
all tangled up.
I know. He got out of it. Notice he boxed his way out.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
check.
but I ask him kids. I
He's
say,
on-
hey, why you?
He's on that one?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I was looking at that one. Okay.
Yeah. I'm 1, you're 2.
Okay. Great.
The old one, 2.
The old one too. That's the
He's
best
going with the 2
combination.
now.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
No, but getting back to asking them kids why they want to work out.
Right.
Or
That's
be
a great
fighter.
question.
You know, I said, why you want to be a fighter? And there's so many other things to do.
Well, how about this? Strengthen their
Oh,
thumbs
yeah.
with the games.
Well, they all got some kind of story to tell me, but most of them were a couple bullied stories where they was actually being bullied.
that's
at
why it's a
school.
good thing to teach them self-defense.
And then we had the kid, and then like I said, I had one girl actually. We trained her, you know. She was training, and she was getting bullied. And then she was then she fought and she won. And right after the fight, I said, "I bet you they don't bully you no more in school." Yeah.
I'll bet they didn't.
Yeah, no, they didn't either. Yeah.
Once they got hit with a fist, look
Oh,
out.
boy,
That
yeah.
would end that. So who are you going to watch tonight with the
Tonight
fights?
I'm going to be up here watching young boy who fought as an amateur, and I actually judged and refereed a few of his
Right,
fights.
he even does timekeeping too.
Oh yeah, I do the timekeeping too, but that's Tommy Parker from the north
I
side.
got a story about Tommy Parker.
Okay.
We're doing Golden Gloves this summer. It's the finals. He comes over by us, and we're announcing it. He goes, Al Levine, on air where the mics are at.
Yeah.
Nobody ever did that for me. So I became a fan of him, and I wish him, when you
great.
see him, say I talked about him on my telethon. Tommy Parker's going to win.
Yeah, that's good. I'll definitely
He got
tell
he's a
Tommy
north
that.
side
Yeah.
guy, and I was
North side, tough guy, trained by Mike Manna.
Yeah,
Another
Pittsburgh
tough-
Bull.
Pittsburgh Bull, another tough fighter from Pittsburgh. Yeah,
And the
he's
guy-
training them.
and the guys hosting it are Integrity Fight Management.
Oh, Mike McSorley.
Mike McSorley and J.J. Richardson.
Yeah, two
They run
good
a
men
great
there.
operation
Yeah,
there.
First class
Amateurs
operation.
and
They do
pros.
good. Yeah. They
No,
do.
and where's it at?
Meadows Racetrack and Casino out here in Washington.
They have a special room for that, right?
Yeah, it's a tent because they won't let the kids into the casino.
Right.
But they let them in the tent. if you want to go. That's why they do
Well,
that.
you can only gamble after 21, unless I learned when I was 18, you could bet on horses, and you can bet win or lose on horses at
Okay.
18. Now
At
you know.
18. Oh,
Go look
okay.
for the horse races. You can throw $2 on a race.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
buddies of mine told me, we can go out there, and I've been going out there since 1974.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
yeah,
50
no.
years.
That is unbelievable.
How's that
That's
even
awesome.
possible? Well, my hair was a little darker.
Yeah. Yeah, them horses, I don't bet on the horses much. I never really
My
did.
dad loved betting numbers.
Uh-huh.
I said I'd rather bet on a horse because I learned how to read a program,
Okay.
and there's different levels of horsing. I won't get geekish,
Yeah.
but you know how different boxers have different styles?
Right. Oh,
Some
the
horses are
the
front runners,
Okay.
some are late closers, some are a closing horse
See, I just learned that.
where
now,
they
yeah.
can't even get off the starting gate, and they're dead last. Coming around the half, they come on and win the race from dead last.
Wow.
I had a horse like that
Is
at
that
the
right?
Meadows,
Yeah, that's
Hancock Creed.
Was that his name?
Yeah, he was a
Creed?
little horse,
Yeah.
and we had some good luck with him, and it was in a cheap claimer race. That
Okay.
These are like their level, 2,500.
Okay.
And one race, Roger Houston, the great announcer,
Yes, I
I've had him
remember
on
him.
my show,
Wow.
and he was calling the race. Here we're getting a little crazy with sports, but and if you don't gamble, don't start. But if you do, learn how to gamble and don't listen to Smoking Jim. And he's not here. But anyhow, it started out, and Roger Houston goes, they're often pacing. This horse is there first, second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth. Hancock Creed is trailing the field.
Yeah.
So we're at the halfway point. They go quarter, half. At the halfway point, Roger Houston goes, Hancock Creed can see them all.
Yeah.
He's dead last. So now he started to move at about the 5/8. There's
Right,
where they
right.
start is called the 5/8 mark. It's geekish, and they run a mile. So as he got to the 5/8, he starts coming. Roger Houston goes, Hancock Creed's moving up on the outside. 8th, 7th, 6th. He's up to 5th. They're coming around the last turn. He's at 3rd, and he comes out to the straightaway. He goes, Hancock Creed is closing, and he's naming the other horses.
Yeah,
And he goes, Hancock Creed is now 2nd, and he won by a nose at the end of the race.
All
One of the
right,
best
all
calls. I'm not
right,
doing
yeah.
justice, but Roger Houston, how exciting is that with
Yeah.
your horse?
Definitely.
Then we
yeah.
go in the winner's circle and we get a picture with it.
Yeah.
And we paid for the picture, and
All right.
it's still somewhere out there.
Yeah, that's
No,
cool.
good luck tonight. Tell JJ and Mike,
Mike,
that
I'll tell them.
I'm inviting them to my MMA event, the Coliseum Combat Zone.
Okay.
Skeet's got a VIP ticket
Wow,
seat.
Thank you, Alan Levine.
And that's
Thank you.
September 14th.
Yeah.
You can get tickets now. Check out my pages. Go to my website, Coliseum Combat Zone. Got tickets from $50 general admission, $75 reserved,
Yeah.
$125 VIP seats. If you get a table of 8, I'll discount it. Instead of $1,800. So get
there
your
you
friends
go.
out
There
there.
you go. Come on out. That's what you-
the new horse guy will come out to MMA.
MMA, yeah. This is going to be a good night. How many fights you got lined up for this?
We got 5 lined up, and we're
Okay.
trying to get 14.
And how about any local boys? Who's the
Yeah.
local boys or girls? You got any
We got
girls on
girls
it?
from Matt Factory. We got some from Stout Fighting Promotions. They're two of the top
okay.
gyms.
Well, I
we
definitely
got-
heard of that stout fight.
Yeah, they're good. Matt Factory,
I heard
the
of him too,
first UFC fighter, my friend Chris Dempsey.
Right.
He was the
I
first
heard
guy.
of him, yes.
Guess where
I
he's
heard of
from? Matt Factory.
Is that right?
Yeah, so they're all helping out.
Good.
You'll love this. I have a woman matchmaker called Nicole Castillo. She's been doing it for 19 years.
Wow.
She has printout sheets of 5 different states, so we're going to have some out-of-state fighters.
Yeah.
And I told her, we're pro Pittsburgh, but they could come in.
Yeah.
And on my show, I'm having 16.5 feet by 9 feet screens. I'm going to interview every fighter for 30 seconds before their fight, and it'll be on the big screen.
Nice.
It's all about promoting the
Nice.
fighters.
That's what you got to do. Promote. That's
It's
what
the
we need.
fighters, because without the fighters, forget about me. We can't do anything.
Right. No. Yeah, you're right.
No,
you
but that's
need
what we're looking
fighters.
at, and you're more than welcome. Now, you came here and you said you were going to donate something.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Hold on a minute.
Okay. Here, I'll hold the mic. He's digging deep, folks. I'll do play-by-play. Oh, there's a moth.
Yeah.
Get that guy.
Oh man, how's that for now?
Whoa.
$25.
$25.
I'm running low.
Look at this.
I'm running low.
We got Vinny on the camera. Look at that.
That's all. That's what I brought out. So for the
Thank you
donation.
very much.
Yeah, no, you're doing a hell of a thing here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Skeets, and it means a lot to
Yeah,
me.
you know, I wish I had more, but like I said, I'm kind of.
Hey, I told $1. You went 25 times that buck.
That's all right.
No,
all
it's good. Yeah, look at that. We're holding money. We got everything going here.
Yeah, so it's a good show, and yeah.
No, well,
yeah.
thanks for coming in,
Yeah, man,
being
if
my
you ever
first
want
guest.
me on again, I'm
Well, next year I'm
game.
doing this again.
Okay, good.
So you want to be first again? He's number one in my heart. And have a safe trip out there.
Okay.
Enjoy the fights.
Yeah.
Tell Tommy I said he'd win.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, that's my guy.
But hey, thanks again.
Oh,
Thanks
you're
for
welcome.
everything.
Thank you so much, Skeets. Yeah, I'll just set it here. Yeah, we're good.
Is that good?
Wave to the camera, that middle one. Anyone? Uh-oh. Get him, Vinny. He's doing a little shadow
Yeah, I'll
boxing.
do this. I'll
Uh-oh.
with one of these ones here.
Wow. One-arm push-ups. This guy's going to be 60 in December.
Yeah. How
Who
about
else
that?
is-
How
who
about
else-
that? Yeah. I'm ready for a fight.
We're
Let's
not...
see if Victoria will get me on the card up there.
He might, but are you allowed to fight at 50?
59? No. I couldn't fight at 59.
All right.
But,
Hey, thanks.
No, hey, thanks again.
Thanks for the
Appreciate it.
workout.
Yeah,
That's
man,
why
I'm
Skeet's
getting
my
my
man.
heart pumping now, huh?
You can hit the road now, Jack.
All right, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you. man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. See you, boys. Have a good one. Have a good one.
All right. Hey, that's just some of the people I know locally. He's a local legend, helping many kids out and doing great things. Shout out to Marco Rodi and Bull Lara for watching. Ann Harder said, my mom had it too. We need a cure. Please, everyone, help us and donate whatever you can afford to give. Elizabeth Anderson's watching. Thank you, my friend. How's your fingernails? She has long fingernails. Diane Marianne O'Rody's watching. Are you ready to see Michael? We're ready for Michael. Let me get a little sip here. How about this stuff that Nick has on here, the talking machine telethon? To donate, go to wherever it's spelled at there and donate, please. We can check the phone and see your donations, and look at that shot from the camera there. No, this is great. All right. Michael Mariano, come on in. My control room cameraman guy. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. So I have.
Hold it. You haven't been on the camera.
yeah.
You need the mic. Hold it below your chin.
Hello, everyone.
A little bit below.
Um.
This is your first time.
Yes.
First time on Sportsline. He's always done the shows, and he runs camera and does that control room. He even catches Smoking Jim laughing.
Yes.
And me too, with a quizzical face.
Yes, I do.
We appreciate all you've done here, and he's one of the best here. He cracked the top 10 of camera people. And if Aaron Ward comes in, he may meet the best.
Thank you.
She's the best ever. All right. What's your story here?
So, I have it from a few.
Well, do it one at a time.
So this is from my grandma, Pap, Ann Harder, and Brent Harder.
Hold it. I got to open this.
Yeah.
All right. I got to watch. Wow, they sealed this. I'm struggling a little. All right. I'm a little nervous here. There's money in here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Ann, and your husband. What's your pap's name?
Brent Harder.
Brett Harder. The Harders did it. They're his mother Brandy's parents, or his grandparents.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting it. I got to give a shout out to Ann. Because of her nominating me for the 2023 Outstanding Citizen of Bethel Park, I thank her so much. I won the award, didn't even know I was in it. and was totally surprised by my friend Judge Arnone. They got a plaque for me in his office, the judge's office.
Yeah.
People talk about going to see the judge. I got to see my plaque. All right, thank you for that. What else do you got?
Next one, my other grandparents, Michael Mariano and Teresa Mariano.
Wow, and I've been to their house, and they're
Yeah.
great. We got $10 there from both of them. The Mariano clan is strong,
Yes.
and Harders too. You'll have to write the names down so I can post that stuff on my thing.
I will.
Yeah, when you get a chance. All right, what do we got next?
And this one is from my dad, Johnny Mariano.
Not Johnny.
He's out
We
there.
got to bring Johnny on here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
Johnny's shy. Oh my goodness. All right, we got 10 from Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. All
And
right,
this-
then what's next?
This one's from me.
10 more from you
Yeah.
guys. Unbelievable. $50 from the Marianos
Yeah.
and the Harders.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's great to be on here.
Yeah, and what are you doing today here?
I'm directing.
How are you directing while you're with me?
I mean, but when I'm not out.
I wanted to stump him because he's a smart guy. He knows I can get him.
Yeah.
And he could have just said, Nick's in charge right now,
Yeah.
right? And then you'll be back doing it once I throw you off, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, so you're here on a nice day. And I always ask people what they're doing. And he's going to Bethel Park High School now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in something called 9th grade. And he volunteered to be in the band.
Yes.
My son Drew was in the band, and my daughter Casey was in there all years in high school on the clarinet.
Mm-hmm.
What are you playing?
I play the cymbals.
How did you pick that? Be
Well,
honest. Tell me what.
I've gone to a few games and I've always thought that the cymbals looked cool. I've liked the
You just like the
noises.
bang and the
Yeah.
other things you do with it.
I've liked
8 other different things I heard.
And our first game is Friday. It's about an hour away in Seneca Valley. We have a few,
I don't think I'll make that.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
That's an hour. You know what I did in Seneca Valley 13 years ago?
What do you do?
They had unicyclists, or 12 years ago, unicyclists. They had a championship, worldwide championship. And I said, I'm the talking machine. I was interviewing people from different countries. They're like, who are you? I tell them the talking machine. They go, can you interview me? And they were on unicyclists. Imagine you only have one wheel, and they do all these performances. You got to check out the show that I did there. You got to check it. You like checking all my shows
Yeah.
out. But I did interviews back then.
Yeah, you have a lot of great shows.
Oh, thank you. I got over 1,000 now, I think. So, and we're doing more every day. And this is on Pittsburgh Sportsline Telethon, the second annual.
Yes.
Well, you better get back and get to work because
All
you're
right.
making us look good. Look how we look here, both of us, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm just looking around wandering. Well, no, thank you. Thank your family. Johnny's here. Your mother's on there. Ann's been on. So I salute all of you. Thank you for the donations. It helps us to find a cure for that dreaded disease, Alzheimer's. So thank you.
Thank
Give me the mic. Hit the road, Jack. There we go. Yeah, and he's one of the young guys that helps out. We got Vinny on camera, and Marco's usually with us, and others have helped us out. We got another guy named Vinny who's doing the cameras and stuff here too, and he's got it on me, so look how great he's looking. Look at my t-shirt. I'll stand up, you can get a better shot of that. Make you work a little. Thank you, Vinny. Ah, yeah, look at that. You went up close. See, these guys listen. Well, I got another guest here. It's staring at me. First time he's been in the BPTV studio. It's my son and hero. He gave me my great kidney. It'll be 5 years ago, September 13th. So it's coming up. And he's my hero. He's my son. He's a Navy guy. And he lives with me now. And he's working at the local Petco. So he just got off of work. And he goes, Dad, I'll come to your show. And I'll make a donation. So Big Drew, come on up. You got to talk on the mic. He didn't want to be on the show. Here, grab a mic,
Yeah, yep.
hold it below your chin,
Yep.
and say hello.
Hey everyone. I'm Drew Levine. I'm Talking Machine's son. Not quite the talker as he is, but I'm here to support him and do what I can because I never got to meet my grandmother, unfortunately. So
No, she died in '88, 3 years,
3 years
before
before I
you
was
were born.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a terrible disease. So any little bit that you guys can do to help out, even if it's just $1.50, anything really helps.
A dollar.
And
I need $1.
We appreciate it.
Don't cut it to
Yeah.
50 cents, Drew. I got to write the script for you. $1 or more or what you can afford.
Yeah, $1 will take that.
No, that
Every
is-
little bit helps.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, and that's what we'll add in here, and we'll add up what we have. All right, you had a plan. What's your plan?
I don't know what my plan is.
Donating?
Oh yeah, we'll get the donation here.
See, I stump everybody with my questions, even my own son.
Your mine's a little bit more than the minimum, but I'm his son. It was my grandmother, so of course I had to help take care of her. So there's the donation there.
Holy macaroni. You got to get a picture of this. 5-0. We got 50. Thank you, Drew.
No problem, no problem.
Way to go. Man, he dug deep. I'll put this in my growing pile of money here. Wow, I may need a pen to write these names down and stuff, so we'll have to work on that. Drew, can't thank you enough. What do you think of the studio here? This is your second time being here.
Yeah, second time being here. Yeah, I really like it. Everything they're doing here, Dave Cable, Nick, all the volunteers, Vinny, Michael, everyone else that's helped my dad out, Marco. Probably names I'm missing here. But
Well, he's not the talking machine,
Yeah.
but he's doing pretty good
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
He didn't miss a name here.
no, there's some probably I'm missing. But
No, not with who you meant.
yeah, you guys are doing really good things here. So yeah,
What do
I
you
appreciate
think of
helping my
this
dad
great
here.
lighting here?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this is good stuff for Bethel Park. Yeah.
How about my man Jono's painting here? He puts Monongahela sand in every painting. And I'm honored to have him on here each week and when we do our show and today. And he's honored to be on here. So it's all good. What'd you think of that control room and everything in there?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really nice high-tech stuff.
Can you believe
cool
Michael's
stuff
doing
going
that
on.
all?
Yeah. Well, he's a smart kid, so I knew he'd catch on and do some good stuff, and he's learning from Nick. So
You saw Nick set it all up.
yeah, Nick does
No,
great
it's
things
good.
here. So
Even look at that graphic at the bottom there.
yeah, the studio's in great hands.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, he's pumping them up too much. I'm going to have to bring him down. No, it's great. I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah,
Thanks
no problem
again.
at all. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Let's get some support out there. Any little bit helps, guys. So
Yeah, go out in the
Appreciate it.
street and see
Yeah.
if you can bring some people in. all
every
right?
dollar helps. So
Yeah,
do
tell
our
'em.
best that we can.
One at a time.
All righty.
All right, thanks there, Sonny.
Yeah, no problem.
My hero. Johnny Mariano said, Marco and Mike Rohde are going to the Steelers game now. Well, I said Pirates, Steelers, we're losing people. There's people at picnics that I know today and retirement parties. And guess what else is going on? Nobody mentioned it. It's Italian Day in Bloomfield. I know plenty of Italians, thousands of them. They're going there because it's a great day there. So we may be losing a few around there. And Marco said we're leaving soon to take the T downtown. You guys are smart. You and your dad, Mike. The T's the best way. You don't have to pay that parking, and for $2.75, that's only $5 for you. So that's all good. What signal?
You want me to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been ready to get you on. Grab the mic. Here we go. We got Nick Callis, full-time employee at The Fan, producing shows and even has his own show. And he's a host of Pittsburgh Sportsline, the VIP Time.
Yeah, I usually sit in this seat whenever Chip's not in.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
very familiar.
Chip's not in. And Chip and Stephanie, they do a Alzheimer walk because his mother died of Alzheimer's too. So they're really into it and donating money. So he appreciates what we're doing.
Yeah, well, I would just like to announce now, since I'm here and I support the cause, and
Yeah.
this is such a good cause, that I will be putting $200 in online for you. So perhaps that'll get the ball
I need
a little more
another
rolling
drink.
here. Right, we got a few bills there, but I'll put in 200 on my behalf. So I
Thank you.
It's nice what you're doing. It really
Thank
is.
you.
It's a
I'm
good
trying
cause
to help others. So yeah,
it's a good cause to support. So while you're watching, feel inclined, right? Give a little bit because, right, as you always say, even a dollar helps. So if you've got the opportunity, I mean, it's a good cause to fight for. So
no, thank you
yeah.
so much. Extra thanks. I appreciate it. And last year you couldn't make it because you had to go out of town.
Yeah, well, no, I was still in town. It was my sister's wedding, though. So.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, can't really. I'd take the weekend off there. That's one.
I'm all about family and work first.
Yes.
So you've checked every box off. Now you came back and checked off 10 different boxes here for me. I salute you.
I'm happy to be here too. I mean, this is it's a rarity when we get to do such a big event live as well. So this is always it always gets me antsy and excited because it's just something different in the day that you get to do, or different in the week that you get to do. So
and you had it all ready to roll.
I guess so, didn't I?
We had a couple glitches and stuff like that, but we overcame it.
There was a button that wasn't pressed down on your microphone at the beginning. It was a shame I didn't catch it.
Oh, get out! Really?
I was like, "What the heck's going on? I can't hear him."
I guess I didn't hit it
and then
hard
no, you did fine.
Oh, okay.
It was the board back there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was tough. There was
You
just one little
taught
button.
me in the Speedy Gourmet to press that button in there, so I make sure I press it hard.
I'm also intrigued to see how long you're going to talk before you take a break. I'm seeing if we can set a record here for how long you talk, right?
I can beat at least an hour.
We're in, how long are we now? Like 40 minutes? 40 minutes
man.
in? 45 minutes in?
That's 39 minutes.
We're 39 minutes in, so there you go.
I just saw it right
I'm
here.
I'm impressed.
My iPhone, right. I have been breathing a little bit in case some people say I talk without breathing.
No, I know.
I do breathe. I'm just clarifying that. I'm not holding my breath the whole time. But no, I'm good.
How about the Pirates are winning as well? If that makes you feel like giving, I mean, give a little bit, right? The Pirates are giving us a little charity now.
$2
they might
for
be winning.
2 in a row with the Buccos. I'm quick like that, guys. I'm not holding back. Nick, way to promote. I segued right in that.
If
Double
the Pirates
up.
can win a game, you can donate $2. There you go.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, do it online. That's all. For anybody else watching that's not going to be here, you can donate. No problem there. Just type it all in and bring it up.
yes.
No doubt. Little Bucko talk. Skeens won another game.
Yeah. He's teams look like they're starting to really make him pitch.
He had,
throw a lot of pitches
he had
in a game.
4 walks.
Yeah, so that's what I talked about on the Sportsline show on Tuesday. Which
That's why I brought it up
If we
with
want
you.
to plug it here live every Tuesday night, 7:00, you can
Yes,
listen
we
to
can.
Sports Talk here on BPTV live. We are live.
And live stream like we're doing now.
Exactly,
So.
it's live everywhere. So, but I talked about this a lot, and it seems like that was done to him again, where they're making him throw a lot of pitches.
Right.
And even if they're going to risk striking out looking, you're also taking a chance that maybe a pitch is going to be called a ball more often than not, or you're gonna get those walks. And so that's really just the big thing with him right now. Is a lot of hitters I think are staying patient, and now he's going to have to come into the zone, and that's really what he's probably just going to have to work on, is getting into the zone more, being able to throw more swing and miss stuff. The Splinker's not really doing it anymore either. I think a lot
it
of
did
teams,
for a while, but then they figured that out, I think.
right. So that's what it really is. And I mean, I hear all these people talking about, he's got to learn how to pitch. I don't think he has to learn how to pitch. I think he has to learn how to now adjust to major league pitching,
That's
league
a
hitting.
good point.
Yeah,
People don't talk about the adjustment.
Right. I just hate that perspective personally. I like it whenever we talk about, okay, how does a guy adjust? Because everybody's going to adjust. Paul Skeens is going to adjust, and then he's going to dominate the next few times out, I'm sure, after he makes an adjustment or the team helps him make an adjustment. Oscar Marine is not Andy Haynes.
Right.
That's on the other side there, right? So we like Oscar Marine right now.
Yeah.
He's been doing a good job with a lot of the pitchers, but it's figuring out, okay, how do I adjust? So Skeens, I'm sure, is going to adjust, and then the hitters are going to struggle, and then the hitters are going to adjust, and then Skeens is going to have to adjust again. It's a game of adjustments. Sports is all about adjustments. When you're playing at that level, I think it's less about him learning how to pitch and more about him learning how to adjust whenever teams come up with a universal strategy for him, or like multiple teams come up with that universal strategy. That's really,
Oh, Marco Rody's chiming in with us. He wants some Bucko talk.
Okay.
Hope Trillo, Telez, and IKF all hit home runs, and Falder had a good start.
Yeah, you know what?
We'll talk some Bucko talk.
I don't see why not, right?
They won.
I don't see. I'm just disappointed that they didn't win against the best of the best that they had to. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the Dodgers are the best in baseball, one of the best in baseball, and then the Padres and Diamondbacks were in the wild card race with them,
Which hurts.
Yeah. So I mean, the Mariners are fine. They're a good team this year, but the Pirates have done well against all those like middle tier bottom tier teams. And they've even done well at the beginning of the year against the Phillies and the
Yeah,
Dodgers,
they
even
did.
when they were at PNC Park. So it's tough that they couldn't meet the moment. And that really might have just derailed their season.
It was so disappointing that cost them potential playoff.
Yeah, because I mean, when you've got to play up to those games
Right.
where you're playing teams that you're in the race with, and they didn't, and then they lost 10 in a row. It's very rare when a team loses 10 in a row and lives to tell about it in the playoffs, right?
And
so
and with me, I've been saying for months we need that 10-game winning streak, and we only saw a 6-gamer a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we've seen ebbs and flows. You've watched baseball enough in your life, so you see that.
they've had 2 winning streaks and they've had 3 losing streaks, and the longest streak was a losing streak at 10 games.
Yeah.
So you can't.
That hurts. It's hard to come back.
And it's easy analysis too, right? They're giving us easy analysis. Here's my earth-shattering Nick Callis sports guy analysis. You cannot lose 10 games in a row. You can't. It's
Not even
it's an
once.
easy job, right?
Not even once.
Exactly. So I mean, it's an easy job on my part, right? You can't lose 10 in a row. I'm a genius. So
I second that emotion on Bucko Talk here. One other thing. I was reading a quote that they had a little story on Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer, and he said what Skeen should do is people that were successful when he was and a little before, they were pitching 115 to 135 pitches. And he's saying Skeen's, because he can do it, should extend his career to be better like him, to go an extra inning. When they lost the game the other week, they took him out, and then the next guy gave up 3 runs. So that was the
Well, that was
analogy.
Colin Holderman,
Yeah, but I mean, that was the analogy that Randy Johnson, after everybody's watching Skeens. Drew told me he's the 5th most watched baseball player.
that makes sense. I mean, look at him. He's great. I don't know. I mean, that's
No, I know,
makes
but
sense.
yeah, what do you think about with Randy Johnson saying that? Because he's 6'6", he's in great shape.
Well, I mean, I was upset too about when they took him out of when he was
I
starting.
know, that's why I'm bringing it
against
up.
Milwaukee.
Here's Randy. You're like on Randy Johnson's level. That's what I'm pumping you up.
I think everything's just feel based though, and I think that I think that's just it. You got to feel out the game a little bit more. I'm with a nice balance for everything. I know some people are no stats, no analytics. A lot of people are like all stats, all analytics. You got to find a balance, right? Numbers can tell you a story, but you also got to feel the situation out. And in the case where he's throwing a no-hitter, let him go out there one more inning. And if he gives up a hit, then you take him out, but at least you give him the opportunity to do that. So when they took out Jared Jones earlier in the year when they were playing in New York against the Mets,
I remember.
right? What in the world were they doing taking him out after what was it, 5-6 innings, right? He didn't even pitch that long.
I thought it was maybe
and he was
5
dominating,
innings, yeah.
and then he ended up getting hurt anyway, right? If you try to put inning limits on to prevent players from getting hurt, pitchers from getting hurt.
Well, Nick, on that thing, I wanted to tell you, when I was growing up, I never brought it up before, and somebody was telling me, when we pitched, like I practiced 5 times a week and pitched at least a game, sometimes 2 games.
Yep.
You know what they told us, and I never thought to say it, that the more you pitch, listen to this, the stronger you are.
Yeah, I believe
Now,
that.
we got away from that with analytics completely. And then, like you're saying, which I agree with, analytics are good with certain circumstances, but the feel, look at when you have a guy pitching and he's looking good, and you give him one more inning because he tells you, I can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, I also believe in this, too. Like, sometimes guys will tell you I can go one more. And we see a lot of those big stories, too, like in the World Series when a pitcher says, I'll go the 9th, right? And I'll complete the game. And or like they send the manager back out after a mound visit, right? We love seeing those stories. I also do remember, though, in 2015, Matt Harvey for the Mets wanted to go complete the game.
Yeah.
And the Mets were winning, and then the Royals came back and stole the lead and then won the game. So
Yeah.
I've definitely seen times, too, where, like, you could lose a World Series by doing that. And I think a manager's big job is to make those tough decisions, like make those tough calls. I don't blame Terry Collins of the Mets for making that decision. Matt Harvey was real tough and insistent in playing. So it's a feel thing, too, for a manager. Like, hey, I don't think any pitcher's ever going to tell you I want to go out of the game.
From being a pitcher,
So, right?
anytime they wanted to yank me, even if they were hitting me a little bit, I didn't want to come out.
Now, in Jared Jones' case, though, just the 2 examples I provided, too, Jared Jones was like mowing hitters down. So there was no reason, I think, to take him out. Paul Skeens was throwing a no-hitter. So even if he is feeling a little fatigued or you're noticing signs of fatigue, you don't take a guy out who's throwing a no-hitter. It just, to me, it doesn't make
Right.
sense. So there's feelings like that too, and then I guess that just really diverts the conversation back to like Derek Shelton or to Andy Haynes, the hitting coach, who hasn't
Right.
been doing so well, right? You just got to look and you got to see, are these guys fit to make these big decisions? Are these guys fit to have a nice balance of feel versus numbers? And
What's your thought?
I don't think so.
Well, let me tell you this much.
I don't think he's all good. No.
What I've noticed when there's some key situations, they're not good.
Yeah, and that's
And that's the thing that sticks out. Like, I understand they don't have the best team.
yeah.
But when you're in a winning type situation, and then why does he leave pitchers in to give up 8 runs and stuff?
So that, I mean, I was at the game against the Diamondbacks on Sunday a couple weeks ago, where he put in a pitcher to get the final out of the 6th after Skeens got taken out. Then you put Colin Holderman in, and he walked a bunch of guys, and then gave up a home run to Jock Peterson, who's a left-handed hitter. And that home run was given up while Jalen Beeks and Aroldis Chapman, 2 left-handed pitchers,
Right.
were warming up in the bullpen. So
They were ready.
it's like, but then Jalen Beeks came in anyway the next inning. So it's like, what are we doing? You know, like you've got a pitcher who's obviously struggling. Why are you leaving him in to face a left-handed hitter who's a really good power hitter? It's just decisions that weren't made well, I think, and decisions that ended up costing them wins that they needed against teams that they were right in the race with. And yeah, I don't think Derek Shelton right now, it seems like he's still managing just to like give certain players repetitions. He's not managing
Right.
to give you that winning season that you've been craving, and that's my opinion.
No, you make some good points on that. I'm glad we had some Bucko talk.
Yeah.
Marco is saying, hope the rain doesn't impact any Pirate or Steeler games. We'll hope so for you. Then
Shouldn't
Marco,
impact the Steeler game. I think the Pirates are almost
yeah,
done.
I know. Then Marco said, my cousins from Italy that were on the show are also watching.
Let's go.
Go with Italy.
Hey.
I can't speak any Italian, but we appreciate you watching. Thanks for being fans of ours all the way across the ocean to Italy. That is awesome. You made my day. Thank you. We appreciate you. No, we're doing good here. What's your expectations for the rest of the season? So we're sort of like winding down here.
I gotta tell a secret. I was kind of hoping they would really just have a monster losing streak above 10 games. 'Cause
Okay.
at least then you don't have any hope. I mean, you know, I want to have hope, but like
You wanted to know.
I just wanted to see how far they could do it. And part of me is glad that they stopped at 10. Part of me is a little bit upset, but it's fine. They're winning games. They were so close to the playoffs that it feels like that 10-game losing streak is too much for them to rebound. Because every team in the National League this year is on a level plane, and that the 2 series against the Padres, the 2 series against the Diamondbacks, even too.
Yeah.
Those were 2 pairs of series where you could have really dipped yourself into the thick of the race, and by losing those series, getting swept, a bunch and losing 10 in a row, you're really.
Right.
It made me lose all hope because now you're not playing, you're not going to play them again, and they're the only teams you'd be competing with there, and so even if you win against the opponents you're playing, for the rest of this month and into September, you have to rely on the Diamondbacks and Padres to struggle that much more, and whoever the third place team is going to be, the Braves or the Mets, or whoever, you have to hope that those teams don't do well, and the way the season has gone, that's not how that works.
Yeah, and with your idea of that,
Everybody's in the middle. Everybody's not getting swept, not winning series, right? It's a whole theme. You're not really
Right.
going to have the opportunity to get that back if you give up so many wins.
and just think about this. What if they went 5-5? Hope
would have been even better. Yeah, exactly.
Hope would have been alive.
Exactly.
Even if they had a 500 record,
Yes.
we would have both been saying, hey, they have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, you get swept.
When you think about, okay, 10, that's drastic. But what about just 5?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been great, but it would have been better. Yeah, even if they would have won half of those games. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, though, and that's the theme that they had all season before was something that I was frustrated with, but at least it was keeping them afloat, and maybe I need to experience receiving a little more gratitude for them because even though they weren't going on a streak, they were winning 2 here, losing 2 there in a series.
And how about winning a couple series?
But exactly. So, like winning 2 of 3, losing 2 of 3 is what I mean. So,
right.
In those series, so they were winning series, losing series. They were going back and forth, but they weren't getting swept, and that was the big key, was that they were hanging around enough.
And then their batting was doing very well. during that stuff. So
Yeah,
that kept
for the
us
last 2
even
to 3
more
weeks.
excited, right?
I'd argue that the offense has still been doing well ever since the All-Star break came through and got past us. I don't think it's been an offensive problem at all. And I think that the starting pitching has kind of been buried in all of this because the starting pitching gave up a lot of runs early.
Yeah.
And that required that the offense would come back.
And you did it like in hockey, they call gritty teams like that gritty.
Yeah.
The Pirates are actually a gritty team, which shows me that they're trying hard every game.
Right.
And that means something
Yeah,
as
they're
a
not
fan.
and then the after the series against the Dodgers, I think the series in San Diego was tough.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the fire was gone from them. Like a lot of the players knew
From
they
watching
were-
the games, you could see the realization that we're not going to make it.
Yeah, like it seemed like you just
The air went out of the balloon.
right. The fans and the players and everybody, it just looked like they knew. And Derek Shelton was getting real spicy.
He was.
At his press conferences, and so you experience that and you feel that and you go, okay, yeah, this is tough, and we're sad because that realization's coming in. And again, it could have been just not losing 10 in a row. That's just the theme,
Yeah.
But and then you got to also ask yourself too, and I think it's an important question to ask: is Derek Shelton qualified or capable of making decisions that will lead them to win more often in the future? And if the answer is yes, you bring him back. If not, I mean, you can. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I do believe that there is a need to just have that consideration. And if you're asking yourself about the manager right now, I think those are fair questions to ask.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And it was a 5-year plan, but it's 6 years. So we've seen a lot of what happens under semi-good situations, some streaks, some good players, and we still see a lack of taking us to another level.
Yeah.
Like to me, you played football, you played baseball. Now, some people disagree, but good coaches can get you to overperform and it can pump you up. You have the skills, but imagine if somebody comes in there and just give you a little tweak and say, hey, try this today. I think it'll help. And then it helps. How do you feel? You're going to try harder with that coach. I had it happen with me being a center and not ever playing it from a freshman year up. I thank my coaches to this day for any success that I had.
Yeah.
Because I believe I wanted to play and I was a decent athlete, but I didn't know how to be a center.
See, but no, I don't know exactly too what he does
Right.
behind closed doors. You never know.
Well, they don't even talk about it.
Right, he doesn't talk about that, and they don't talk about that. They do what they're going to do. Discipline, encouragement, whatever they do is not public knowledge. So we don't know for sure. But what I can tell you is that I think that if they're not winning, I think he said it in the press conference too this past week after one of the losses. He was like, "Well, look, we all have to stay together, right? We can't split up."
Why would you say that?
And to me, what you're pretty much saying there as a manager is that if you have to say that, it seems like everything's already getting kind of lost.
I'll share this. I read between the lines, working for a newspaper, reading books, and being with the media. And I always learn, read between the lines, because when somebody's saying something, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And if you find that reason, like you just said, like we have a problem.
Right. So
and he's not solving that problem.
Right. So again, results are results. Like we can talk about what however encouraging he is in the clubhouse behind closed doors, whatever they do. I think that if you're not going to talk about that in public and you're not going to talk about your strategies or how you maintain your team, then all we're going to judge you on as fans or based on how much you win and lose. And so if you lose 10 games in a row with the team that you have right now, then that's tough. I mean, he's got to be a good manager. And the Pirates don't have a whole collection of superstars right now. They've got a couple superstar pitchers. They've got a few solid hitters.
Yeah.
So, he has to use his managing abilities to put the rest of the players around these good players to find a balanced team that can get you wins. That's his job.
And we've brought it up about Haynes. Is he really a good or bad hitting coach?
Well, when players have to go outside the team,
that's why I wanted you to say
that's
that.
I mean, that's been a refrain for a while. Now the hitters are hitting now, so we can't really say that. I'm not going to insult them too much. Riley Telez is hitting now. Brian Reynolds got hot, so we're good there. Key Brian Hayes still can't hit a fly ball really.
And he got a bad back or something.
Yeah, that too. So that's going to be tough to deal with.
And he was a Golden Glove third baseman last year.
Yeah, now he's making a lot of more errors this season too. I guess.
Oh, you bring up errors
compared to O'Neal Cruz though too, And that's a question too. That's something that
I was
going
going
to
to bring it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Just talking about like, is O'Neal Cruz committing like 23 errors in a
Yes.
season? And the season's not over, by the way, too. We'll see how many
Right.
more he gets. Is that worth his bat? Being hot and cold.
Well,
'Cause he'll have one game where he's real good. He'll have one game where he gets no hits. So
here's what I'll tell you. Coaches used to sit players for missing a steal sign, for running to the wrong base, throwing to the wrong player, let alone making errors. They would sit somebody down for a couple games and say, we need to talk to you and you got to work this out. Sit down, get away from it, and then bring them back. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't.
I don't know if the Pirates can afford to bench O'Neal Cruz, though. That's why I want to bring that up.
Well,
Because like with the way their offense is, like you can't really afford to lose that bat in your lineup, I don't think, and so that's why I think it's a tough question.
Well, it is a tough question, but what's another loss with after losing the 10 games?
You're right at that point.
If you
Yeah,
sat them down, like,
you're right.
like you said, the hope's not alive anymore. So if you sat them down, say for a weekend series,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
thank you. You're pumping me
I
up.
mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's a good point. And
Just little things that we notice. Like I'm older, you're younger, but we can talk intelligently about what we see now.
I think I question that just because they're still throwing him out there every day. They're pretty much putting him out there for most of these games. I know he had an off day last week, but I think that's just why I asked the question is because they're already putting him out there. So
Well, my
is it worth
answer-
it? And
my
your
answer
answer is
is
no.
no.
My answer is leaning toward no at this point. You've convinced me.
Yeah,
right. Just
thank you.
considering, I mean, if you're already losing that many games in a row, who knows? Though. I mean,
yeah, you're not going to
We'll
lose 100.
I just don't know what else to say, and I want to complain, but the reality is they're not going to make it. It looks like they're not going to make the playoffs, and that's just what makes me sad and frustrated because it's not like previous seasons where we were out. They were out of it in June. They had a 10-game losing streak in June of 2023. I
know.
remember,
I-
and that was
a
kind of the end of it
nightmare.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if that was a nightmare, it's even more of a nightmare that you're in the thick of a playoff race, and then you lose 10 in
This
a row
was
in August.
worse
Yes.
because everybody was down.
So
this
what's
year.
worse than a nightmare? Reality. Right? So
Living through it. And the thing is, what I like about you and others and what we're doing, even complaining or discussing this, is we're passionate about Pirate baseball.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the bottom line.
And I
Don't
remind
lose
everybody,
that.
I've never seen them win a World Series, so I don't think there's anybody that can be more passionate right now than me about what they should be doing. Because I haven't seen it. All of you out there that have seen it and gotten the taste of it, at least you've had the experience. I have not. And so, trust me, nobody wants it more than me. And I think a lot of baseball fans in Pittsburgh that are around my age.
Well, I feel bad for everybody my son's age and younger because I was lucky, in my 20s seeing World Series.
Right.
And as we get older, we reminisce about it and we remember good times better than bad.
Yeah.
So those were glory days.
I believe it.
And
We Are Family.
oh yeah,
And then they
with
playing, right?
Willie Stargell,
Willie
Pops.
Stargell.
Yeah, it was all in a different light.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
And
'cause
you
I
don't
mean-
get to see and enjoy it. You got a little taste of it with how we were hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have yet to see that. I mean, the 2015 team winning 98 games was probably the closest I can remember. Or the 2013 team going to the going 5 games with the Cardinals in the division series. So
No,
I
those
mean,
were two that were similar to what we saw.
just
growing
seems
up.
like those teams even needed 1 or 2 extra pieces that could have helped them. As talented as they were, and I think this Pirates team right now, 1 or more pieces, 1 or 2 more pieces.
Well, we've talked about it, and I've exclusively talked about what scouts told me, after the World Series and years later.
Mm-hmm.
They go, if you're getting close to 80-some wins, 90 wins, that's when you drop the big money on a player that could win you 5 to 10 games.
Yeah, the Pirates do the opposite going into 2016, right? Yeah.
They traded
Stuff.
everybody.
Yeah.
It was like, are you slapping the fans silly?
Yeah, that wasn't great, and so I mean, it's far enough into the future now where I think we can turn the page and figure it out. But
No,
certainly
we're
at the
beyond
time,
it. That's
yeah,
the
certainly
past.
at the time though that was frustrating to see. So just how the team was being operated, but I mean, we'll see. Next year is going to be next year, and I'll just continue to be sad this year. But
Oh, without a doubt.
you know why we're not sad right now? Because
No.
we're here today. We're raising money for a good cause.
Yeah,
So let's-
read that screen,
Yes, that's
donate
all.
$1.
You got a little
we
bonus.
don't want to lose that.
A little bonus sports talk, right? But don't forget why we're here today, even though we're talking about sports, is because we want to raise money for for the fight against Alzheimer's.
Yes,
So
Alzheimer's Association.
go to that link at the bottom of the screen and donate even $1.
Yeah,
right?
they're on my theme, guys. Hey, Drew, could you hand me the little things that we got from, things that you hold up for your eyes?
Oh, is he here?
Yeah, he made
come
it
on
here
in.
after 4. Come
on
on
in.
in. We can pass the mic to Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, I'm sorry. We were
Come on in
we were
front of
engrossed
the
in pirate
camera.
stuck.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
We'll turn
Nice
the
to meet
mic
you.
over to you.
Thank you.
And thanks, Nick. You gave me a little pause on the words, but I was going interjecting with you. Now we got Nathaniel. He helped make my flyer 2 years in a row, and it looks great. Gave me all the links and stuff, so we appreciate you. Say hello to all our fans.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Safranco. I am the development manager with the Alzheimer's Association Greater Pennsylvania chapter.
Yes, and he's here to talk a little bit about how you can help to find a cure.
Yes.
And do other things with donations and find out information. If we pick his brain, I'm not going to have to talk for maybe 18 minutes.
Oh, if you want to give me that much time, I can take it.
You got it. No, I'm giving it to you because with all the competition with other activities, it's a little weak right now. Last year we had many that came in quickly, but a lot of them told me they had events and things to go.
It is a busy time of year, but
Right,
there's a lot happening. That's
And
good.
it's to honor my great mother dying on the 17th of August in 1988. So.
Yes.
And Gloria's looking down smiling. That's my son. So
Absolutely.
we got that going on. And I'm glad you're here. You got a nice smile. Are you ready to lay some information on everybody here? He'll look in the second camera. Okay.
Awesome.
Just want to get that. Yeah. Thank
Great.
you. Just eye that up and I salute you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. As Alan said, there's so much information and resources out there for those living with a form of dementia, whether that be Alzheimer's, frontotemporal dementia, Lewy body dementia, or any others that
Oh, let
someone
me
may
interrupt
have.
you. A friend
Yes.
of mine, there was a band called Great White. This Lewy dementia. This Jack Russell was a lead singer and founded Great White.
Oh.
My buddy who's helping me with my MMA event, he was a sound engineer for them for 30 years out across the country. He had that. I never heard of, say that again,
Lewy body dementia.
Lewy body dementia.
Yeah.
And he just died at 63 years old.
Yes. They
So I'm trying to segue in there to keep you going.
No, absolutely.
You got 20 minutes now. You're in a bonus.
So each form of dementia affects a person differently. It can affect their memory. It can affect how they behave. It can affect how they're able to live their daily life.
What are some of the symptoms, since you're talking at, like, I noticed with my mother, she didn't want to cook a lot of the time. And, little things like that. And my sister, while we were alarmed, as I tell the story, she was a voracious reader. And she was holding a book upside down, faking like she was reading. So those are a couple symptoms. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so the most common thing that people think of is forgetfulness. So that is one of the warning signs. But just normal forgetfulness, such as you misplacing your keys, might not necessarily be a warning sign for Alzheimer's or
Hold it,
another
I'm
dementia.
68 years old and my keys are in my pocket.
At least you know where yours are.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm looking around the house each morning trying
How
to
old are
find
you?
mine. 31.
Wow,
So
you're strong here.
just because you misplace your keys from time to time isn't necessarily a warning sign, but forgetfulness about different things, and the more that you forget is potentially a warning sign to be worried
And
of.
on that note, Nathaniel, what I do, I did this about 10 years ago in my house. I put a little hook above, and I have keys there, and I put my car key there. So I always know if I see it's empty, I got it in my
Probably
pocket
in your
because we
pocket.
all were busy and I'm doing a bunch of shows and whatever else. So I can get a little confused, like, I forget who you are. No, just half kidding. I know Nathaniel. But no, your points are well taken.
Yeah, and there...
Because normal forgetfulness, don't worry. If you were forgetting stuff at 20, 30, whatever, you're going to still forget stuff.
Right. There is a normal part of aging that is related to forgetfulness, but the dementia, the different forms, is actually a disease that attacks the brain. And there's a different way that it affects people in their brain when it comes to forgetfulness, excuse me.
Yes.
But
no, you got the mic. Keep going. Yeah, just hold
As
it a
you
little
said-
below your chin. You're good. Yeah.
As you said, there's other warning signs too: agitation, forgetting how to do daily tasks. Again, it's kind of related to that forgetfulness.
Okay.
But
you mean
it's
like
still
different normally things, even like getting dressed or
yeah, not being able to dress yourself, like you said, holding a book upside down while you're trying to read. It's things like that are normal for the person that might be experiencing them, because that is in their mind what to do. But from an outside perspective, we can see that it is different from how someone should be performing those tasks, or how they used to perform those tasks.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah, one of the things that I wanted to share, back in June, we had a play called Unforgettable come into town at
I
the
saw that
August
post,
Wilson
yeah.
Center. Yeah, it was
That's a great facility.
It was a beautiful facility. It was
It
my
is.
first time there.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Great things.
So
yeah.
they hosted Unforgettable for us, which is
How did that
a
go?
play. It was very well received. It was actually a 2-day event. The first day, we had Adrian Crutchfield, who was a saxophonist. He was the last saxophonist that played with Prince, come and perform some different music for us.
I love Prince.
Yeah, it was a really neat experience.
Did you have some purple on?
Oh, of course.
Well, of course. Look what I'm wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for the great shirt. Look at
Hey,
that.
and you wear it well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's 68. So
Yeah.
I remembered to put it on before I left.
Good. That's
I'm
good.
working hard on it.
Yep.
No
But
doubt.
the second day of Unforgettable, it was the actual play itself by playwright Garrett Davis. And it showed the experience of someone and a family going through a dementia
What kind
journey.
of experiences?
So it started out. It was kind of like a slice of life play, where in the home of an African American family, and you see the grandmother of the family is progressing through the disease throughout the play.
Sort of slipping on all kinds of
Yeah,
things.
and it starts off really small. It starts off, she isn't paying attention when someone's talking to her. She, misplaces her newspaper whenever she's reading it. And then it gets to the point where more people are realizing these little things and want to start a conversation with her son, but her son was a little bit in denial.
Yeah.
And it really came to light where at one point she was trying to make dinner and make one of her son's favorite meals, and she swapped the ingredients entirely and put shrimp in it, which the son was allergic to. And that was kind of
Oh my
the
good-
sign
that's a
that
tragedy.
the son, and the son finally realized something's going on, something's different. We need to actually sit down and then, find the resources through the Alzheimer's Association that they need.
Right, and on that segue, what do you provide? So people are interested, you piqued my interest going through it and everything, and how can we help others?
Absolutely. So on our website, alz.org, there's a ton of resources. It's a great place to get started. We have a 24/7 helpline as well that will help walk through those resources.
You wanna give
walk
the
through
number?
Website. Yes, it is 800-272-3900.
Thank you.
So that is a great way to walk through the website, but also it is a 24/7 helpline available every day of the year for
Really?
people with that need the resources.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so whether it's an average Tuesday or Christmas Day, if you notice something and you need help in the moment, you can call and talk to someone about some of the signs that you're recognizing in your loved ones, or if you're looking for resources in your area to be able to connect with.
Yeah, because you want help.
Yes, you always need the help. Caregiving itself is a full-time job, and we want people to know about us as an association, but also about the resources that are out there in the general public.
And you have plenty of resources.
Yes, we do a lot for our caregivers. We have support groups sprinkled throughout the state, both in person and virtually, whether done online or over the phone for caregivers, so that people can have that support, know what they're going through, and be able to talk to others about their experience and share that with one another.
No, that is great. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and then we also do a lot of education for the
How
community
so?
at large.
How do you do that?
We train volunteers to become community educators, and they are people that go out into the community to be able to share about
So you
the
teach
disease.
them to help others?
Yes, they get fully
Think
trained
about
by us.
volunteering, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm a
that's one of
recruiter
many.
for you. I can recruit.
That's
Get out
one of-
there.
That's one of many ways to volunteer. We're always looking for more people to help be trained to put on those community education programs. We also have people that help with the support groups. So if you're interested in that, that's another opportunity. And then being involved in fundraising as well through events like this with the Telethon today, supporting
Yeah.
the Longest Day. Whether it's the Longest Day or one of our other events, it supports
You
our
can
mission
just
to
wear
do
the
what we
shirt.
do.
Just wear the shirt.
Even wearing the shirt, that helps increase the awareness. So the
Right.
more purple and the more information we have out there for people, the more people will know who we are and be able to turn to us.
Right, right. No, that is great stuff. And do you have an office where you work out of?
Yeah, so we have an office in the South Side, about a block and a half from Cheesecake Factory. So,
Everybody knows that.
yes, if you know where Cheesecake Factory is, you can easily walk to us. We're in and out quite a bit, so we may
No, I
not
was
be
just
there, but
saying if somebody
we do
in
have
Pittsburgh wanted to come in.
Yeah, we do have in-person opportunities to volunteer, but also to meet with staff. We're in and out every week, just being in the community to support those that need this care and support, but also to be able to deliver on our mission and educate people about what's out there.
Sure, and this is an all-year type of thing.
Absolutely. We are fundraising year-round, we're educating people year-round, and we're also advocating year-round. That's another way to get involved for
Oh,
people.
sure.
Yeah, so we have our advocacy team with the Alzheimer's Impact Movement that is really the leading voice for those at the state and federal level, promoting policies that we care about to support those living with the disease and their caregivers.
Whoa, there's
And
thunder
there's some
out
big
there.
thunder, yes.
Yeah,
I got in as the clouds were rolling
They
in.
said
so I
heavy
missed the
thunder
rain.
was coming, so we're in the bottom floor. So anybody worried, we're pretty safe here.
Yes.
It's a 2-story building, so we're pretty secure here in our studio here. Now, what are some of the laws that you're trying to get in? Because I'm interested in that type of thing.
Yeah,
Because
so
we need future help.
absolutely.
now.
And there's work being done, especially in Pennsylvania, to finally get some of that support needed. So in the Pennsylvania state budget for this year, the governor put in the budget a budget line to have an office for Alzheimer's and dementia at the government level. So this would have
wow.
people be able to have an office in government for people to be able to have more information and resources at the state level from government. So that is proposed in the budget. And right now we're waiting for either our House bill or Senate bill to be passed
Right.
to actually put that into action. So
Well,
if you're looking for...
Shapiro's been a pretty good governor
He is,
so far.
yeah, he's really good with us.
And he's an advocate with all these things.
Yes.
Like I do stuff with the Kidney Foundation, and they've had to get some bills in there because, like, my son's my hero. He gave me a kidney. Well, guess what insurance companies were doing? If you were a donor, they were charging you premiums or wouldn't offer you insurance. So they approved a bill to do that
Right.
so they wouldn't be discriminated against. Because, I mean, you have to be very healthy to donate. They test you mentally, physically, and of course the blood needs to match with an organ. But imagine insurance companies doing that. So we need a little help on that to put parameters in there so people that are doing something good don't get penalized. Like you doing all this, if you have resources and you're teaching people to be caregivers, then they can get some money back there to help out with their families.
Right. There's a lot of opportunity with that to be able to provide the services to the families at large, whether it be their caregivers to get them connected to the resources they need, for the people living with the disease, making sure that they have access to treatment as that becomes available. Right now, there's 2 FDA-approved
really?
treatment options for people with early onset
And
Alzheimer's.
what are they?
They are on the market as
I know you
Leqembi.
know, so yes. I'm
They're-
testing them.
They're on the market right now. The first one that was approved a couple years ago is on the market as Leqembi, and then the one that was just passed this year is on the market as Kisunla.
Wow.
Still
they're
getting
words
used to
that-
the name.
They're mouthfuls, yeah.
They are.
No, I heard of the one from 2 years ago, and somebody said a new one just came out.
Yes, that's the Kasuma.
recently,
so
yeah.
it's just a couple months on the market now, but that's just the progress of the research that's done throughout the entire country and across the globe. Being
Right.
able to have the information and resources to fund that research, looking at different treatment options. I don't know all the research. I wish I did. But there's so many different ways to look at treating the disease and the different angles. So this is just the first stepping stones in
Right.
that treatment option for people. And we're hoping that with the research, there's a lot more to come.
I can remember, may my mother rest in peace, when we first told her about this, they put her in Western Psych. Mm-hmm. And I can still remember, it's very sad for me. They had her painting and doing that. And there were people with depression and other, mental illness, which I have empathy for them. We need more help for them. But we're talking about this and Alzheimer's. They had her there, and she was going in and out. And she goes, "Alan, I need help." She goes, "I don't belong here." Mm-hmm. And I go, "Mom, why?" She goes, "They aren't helping me." So we contacted Pitt, UPMC at the time. They were doing something in the mid-'80s. So we met with them, and they said, "Mr. Levine, you can care for her as long as you want." But he did it, he had to work a full-time job, and he was a referee, and he only had so much time, and he felt so bad, but she needed more care. She needed change. She couldn't always eat or swallow. Mm-hmm. So he was having trouble, and I was just married. I couldn't come out there, and my other sisters would try to help, and a couple of them were married. Mm-hmm. So we needed caregivers, and back then, I'll just tell you this, it was terrible. And it truly was. It was like, they're not even here. They're just in a bed. They needed care and change and everything else. So that's why I really have empathy for doing that now.
Well, and that's unfortunately common for that time. A lot of the time, people didn't realize what dementia was or how it affected people. And there's still a lot of misconceptions about it today that we're battling. But back then, that was unfortunately more common. Now, not so much.
Right.
People understand that dementia is a disease that affects the brain, and there's not just the treatment, but there's drugs on the market as well for the symptoms to treat that. So people understand it a little bit better about what the disease is and how to care for
and
them.
then now look at even they got the Luby, dementia, and even look at my movie star hero, Bruce Willis, has frontal lobal
Yes.
dementia.
Yeah.
I think I said it right.
Frontotemporal
Okay.
dementia. Yeah, it's all a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. Frontotemporal.
There you go.
How'd I do? I came back strong.
Yes.
No, but that's like when UPMC was doing that, they said, we're studying all that. And then it came out the next few years, they were finding that aluminum was getting deposited in the brain. And I remember we had everything was copper. I mean, no, not copper, but aluminum. And I brought home one time at work, they'd get these different deals on different things. And I brought home copper-clad, stuff that she started cooking with. But that was when I was like 18, 19 years old. But all those years before, I'm thinking everything was aluminum.
Right.
And it was nonstop. So somebody sensitive, and I don't believe in many conspiracies, but they used to put mercury in allergy shots, and they found out mercury's not good for you. So I believe she got weakened being on allergy medicine all the time. And it just led to that. She had a great-grandfather lived to be 105.
Oh, wow.
And her mom lived to be in her late 80s and her dad in her 70s, so they never had any issues like that. So everybody was stunned on both sides of the family.
Right.
So any help you can get, and look at how they're picking this part, that part of the brain.
Yeah. And
It's fascinating to me.
It is because, like I said, each form of dementia does affect the brain differently. So knowing what kind of dementia somebody has is half the battle. Unfortunately, diagnostics are very difficult. There are some cognitive tests to be able to help get a baseline and understand what form of dementia somebody may have. But it is and
When
can
would they
be
do that
invasive.
to get a baseline?
It's
Would it
really
be
up
before
to
they
the
even have dementia?
well, it's up to the individual to really advocate for themselves. That's one of the things that is
'Cause I was
also a
wondering,
battle.
yeah.
Because a lot of physicians aren't necessarily equipped for dementia specifically.
How could they be?
A lot of times, if not every time, you're looking at going to a specialist, a neurologist, to be able to get an understanding of what is happening and what type of dementia it might be. So getting that baseline is really up to the individual to advocate for themselves, and having the support of their physician or another doctor or a second opinion is important to help drive that as well, so that you can get the care that you need to be able to understand that. Yeah. One of the exciting things, though, is we had our Alzheimer's Association International Conference in Philadelphia a few weeks ago. And as part of that, it is an opportunity for researchers from all across the globe to come together. It was our largest one yet. We had over 8,000 researchers in person, 4,000 joining us online virtually to learn about the different research going on. And one of the big findings there was that they're getting closer and closer to having an effective blood test to be able to diagnose the disease.
Wow, that is so interesting.
Yeah, the blood test right now is that they're looking at through research is about 90% effective at diagnosing the disease in an individual, whereas a physician is only 60 to 70% effective
Thanks
at diagnosing the disease.
for giving those numbers. I always wondered about that.
Yeah, so we're getting closer to having that. We're hoping that it becomes a normal part of the of a health journey then, so that when you're going for your cholesterol or blood pressure or vitamin D, whatever, they can just take another vial of blood and be able to do that for you as well.
Or blood work.
Yeah, just have it be part of the
function.
normal routines that everyone goes through.
That saved my life when they did a blood test for my kidneys.
Yeah.
I felt healthy and didn't have any symptoms, and I was only functioning at 15%. They said if you don't go to a nephrologist, you could die.
Yep. And
so that started me on my journey here, and that's why I'm willing to help here. And my mind's open about it. And we're blessed to live in Pittsburgh with all the medical R&D that's going on here. Some of it's with that and other things.
Yes.
Because look how big UPMC is.
Yeah, and thank you for that segue. So that's another.
I'm good on that.
Oh, I know you are. But that's another exciting thing. So at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, they rewarded 2 new research grants to researchers out of the Pittsburgh area. So right now, there's over $2 million in active research here in Pittsburgh that the Alzheimer's Association is funding.
I'm glad I segued right into there.
And
thank you for the script. Okay, I got it.
It is the largest funded research lab as well from the Alzheimer's Association in the entire country.
Right here.
Right here in Pittsburgh.
We salute Pittsburgh.
Yes, absolutely. So $2 million here in Pittsburgh, about $7 million across the state of Pennsylvania as a whole.
Really?
And then in 2023, at the end of 2023, we had $100 million in active research that we were funding through the association.
Get on. That's incredible.
I just got here. I'm not going to get out
Donate
yet.
$1. Make it $2 because the Buccos won 2 in a row with Nick here.
Yes.
So we need that. We got to pump that up. Yeah, we don't have many coming in. Can you talk a few more minutes?
Absolutely.
Hey, Nick, I can go a little longer. I'm good. All right, then. Yeah, we got UPMC out there. What other things haven't I segued in or prompted you with?
Yeah, so we can go back to how to get involved, more ways to get involved with the Alzheimer's Association.
Let us know.
So actually coming up in the fall is our Walk 10 Alzheimer's events. So the Walk 10 Alzheimer's is our largest event to bring people together in the fight against Alzheimer's. So we have teams that are fundraising throughout the year and then come together in person in communities across the country to recognize their fundraising efforts, but
so
be
this
together
is in
to see
every
a
state,
purple. Yes.
Every state potential.
Yeah, we have about 20 to 25 in the state of Pennsylvania and over 600 of them taking place across the country as a whole. The Pittsburgh event is scheduled for Saturday, October 19th. And we do that at Highmark Stadium over in Station Square.
Wow, very good. Get ready for that and donate $2. We need some donations here. We need some information on that, and please help out. And what else do you have for me?
What else do you need? There's so much information out there. Like I said, one of the good resources we have to be able to connect people to resources is our helpline. So I'm going to share that one more.
I got a question.
Sure.
Say somebody thinks a parent or a loved one is, going downhill, and they're afraid to ask. can they just call and have somebody talk to them to bring them back to, this could save that person or let them live a little better quality for the next so many years?
Absolutely. So our helpline.
How would that happen? Yeah.
Our helpline is equipped to answer any question that people might have. So, like I said, whether you might be recognizing some signs or symptoms that you have questions about, calling our helpline and just having that initial conversation about, this is what I'm noticing. Is it something that I should be worried about? They'll be able to say, yes, it might be, or no, it might not be, or being able to connect you to a physician or a neurologist in your area to see if it is something a little bit more. So being able to have that conversation, whether you think it is the disease or you're just curious, it's a great place to start. So that helpline, again, is 800-272-3900. It's available 24/7, 365, anytime that you need it, whether you have a question or looking for resources, or even some people use it in emergency situations.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we've had people that call our helpline when their loved one wanders off that is living with the disease, and our helpline is
And
able
you see
to
that
help
happen
them.
every so often.
Yes.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, so our helpline is able to help them kind of walk through what to do, get connected with services so that we're able to connect locally and find people that are willing and able to go out and find their loved ones. Police officers are always well equipped to do that.
They have
but sometimes,
knowledge?
yes.
Okay.
But sometimes people don't think to call the police right away because, a missing person, it's
Right.
not something that you think is going to happen to your loved one.
Right.
So people might not think that's what to do. They might call our helpline instead if they're living with the disease. So kind of walking through those emergency situations is something that they're equipped to do as well.
No, that is great stuff. You've been great. We've had you on for almost 30 minutes.
And I was told only 18.
I know.
But there's so much information, and this is just scratching the surface.
No, you've been a
so-
great help. You got me pumped up with, what's available out there. We got a couple other people watching. Frank DiMarcelli and Bob Ridgway, my good friend there, is watching from Bethel Park. If you guys have any questions, just ask away, or if you know anybody that's in trouble, we can get some help for them. So that way anybody out there that's watching can, just tune in and ask a little question and interact with us.
Absolutely. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to share, whether it's now or our helpline or going online to our website, alz.org. It's a great place to get started looking at what the 10 warning signs are, or you're able to find the support groups in your area. We also have an online resource called the Community Resource Finder.
Wow, we're getting more information with Nathaniel.
I told you there's
there.
more.
You got it. Tell them that alz.org.
So the website is alz.org. That is the Alzheimer's Association website. And then as part of that, we have the Community Resource Finder at alz.org/CRF for Community Resource Finder.
Wow.
And that is an online service. It's a partnership with AARP that we have that is an opportunity for people to list the services in their area that might be beneficial to someone living with the disease or their caregivers. So we have all of our stuff on there. We have our programs, our support groups, our information that you might need from us. But then whether you're looking for a long-term care community, you might be looking for an elder law attorney, you might be looking into hospice care, they are able to list their services on there, and you can find what is near you I always encourage by distance, looking at what is the closest to you. But you can find what's there by distance. You can see what's coming up by date if you're looking at support groups or education programs. It's just a great resource that's online for people to go that might need something.
I have a question that
Sure.
some people are, in a facility for caregivers and stuff, and they're developing Alzheimer's and they're getting worse, and they're not getting the help there. What should they do and reach out to you guys and ask?
Yes.
Because that happens. I've heard it numerous times. Because people, first of all, don't want to put them in a home.
Right.
And then they find out it may not have been the right home for them.
Yes, and it's
that's
always
why it piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's always about shopping around for the community that's going to be best for
Right.
you. There's so many out there, and they all provide different levels of care, from independent living to memory care for people that
Yeah,
are living
we
with
even
the
have
disease.
a local memory care that's here too.
Yeah.
And right next to me is more independent living.
Yeah,
Right
so-
across the street from my house here.
Well, being able to kind of do that shopping around, find what is in your community and see what levels of care there are. They will always do tours as well to be able to show you what the buildings are. You can
Okay.
talk to them about what type of care they provide, what that care looks like, and get a feel for if it is a right fit for you.
Would Alzheimer's Association be able to know some of these things in facilities?
We don't know the specific details about the
Because I
communities.
know that would be hard because you're talking thousands just locally or
Yeah.
hundreds locally.
Yeah, so the Community Resource Finder has a lot of them listed on there.
CRF.
Yes, alz.org/CRF. So you can find them there and be able to reach out to them individually. But reaching out to them and really talking about the type of care that they provide and what you need for your loved one is the best strategy, and not being afraid to shop around. I know a lot of them actually do talk to one another as well, and if
really?
they're not able to provide the care that someone needs, they often make referrals to other places that can provide that care.
Right, because even like you say, independent and then memory, then you have worse situations than that.
Yeah, there's so many
And it's
different
more
levels
fluid
of care.
as you go through the stages.
Yeah. And then
Can you talk about the stages of Alzheimer's?
yeah, I can do a little bit. It's something that there's a lot of information about, so I'm not super well versed in it.
Here's what I'll tell you. You're a wealth of information. If you just tell them like a bullet, point for each like stage that you would know about, I'm saying in general,
Yeah.
that they can get help there. Because a lot of people, when they're going through this, they're not thinking straight on how to get help.
Right.
And that would help them, at least in my mind.
Yeah. So it all starts years before the symptoms actually develop. There's actually been research done that there are changes in the brain and then the blood up to 20 years prior to
Oh, really?
somebody showing
I didn't know
symptoms.
up to 20 years.
Yeah. So that's why the blood test is also going to be very important with
Right.
developing that, so that you can get that blood test and be able to recognize if there
And
is
how
a
do you ask for
susceptibility
that?
there.
What do you ask for? To get an Alzheimer's blood test? Or
That's the goal, hopefully. Once a blood test is found to be effective,
Yeah.
fully and on the market, we're hoping that it can be
we
part
don't
of that
have
normal
it now,
part.
though.
Not
That's
yet.
what I was getting
yeah,
at.
No, not
so,
yet.
yeah, because I hadn't heard that. I was like, wow, we have something.
No, it's coming in down the pipeline. It's
Right.
hopefully coming
No,
up
I know
really
they've been
soon.
working on it for a long time.
Yes, absolutely.
No, and it's necessary.
Yeah. So that is kind of the first step, but there are different stages of the disease, as you
Right.
said. It starts with mild cognitive impairment, which is not necessarily going to lead to dementia, but it's the beginning stages of impairment that affect people's ability to
Live a normal life.
Live a normal life, yes.
Yeah.
And then with Alzheimer's specifically, that's the most common form of dementia. There's early, mid, mild, and late stage Alzheimer's.
See, that's what
And
I had
it's
heard way back when.
Yeah. And it's the severity of the disease and how it affects the person.
And how quickly you go through it. Like with my mom, went through it so quickly.
Absolutely. And some
Yeah.
people go through it much quicker. Others can live in one stage of it for several years before progressing
I've
to the
heard
next.
that, and even look at the great singer Tony Bennett. Mm-hmm. He could sing perfectly, but he had Alzheimer's.
And that's one of the wonderful things that we know there's a connection to music. So having
That's why
that,
I brought it up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Not just with him, but with anyone. I know that I've talked with a lot of people that have had loved ones go through the disease, and they sing a song that they loved or play the song or something, and that connection and spark for a moment, it's almost like the disease disappears from them because they're living in that moment.
Well, here's what's, I do different shows, and I knew this great saxophone and flute player, and he told me I was healing a dog from cancer for 2 years, and then I had to go out of town and the dog died. And I said, would you do a show, because I believe music can heal, because generations ago in caves with ancient people, not to get geekish, I'm a history guy, they found out that the sound in there had a ceiling hertz level. And they found with music, like you're saying, it can help heal.
Absolutely.
So I did a show with what this guy played and the healing aspects of music.
Yeah, it's wonderful
It's
what music
amazing.
can do. I know music therapy has been getting a lot bigger just in general, but I know there's some different care communities as well that have a music therapy program as part of their activities because of the impact and power that it has on the individuals living with the disease.
And it's even getting further with just basic health.
Yes, yeah.
Like even healthy people, if you want to enhance your health, there's different music you can listen to make you healthier.
Well, and I mean, taking it back even more, that's why a lot of health classes, whatever you go to, has a connection to music.
Okay.
With yoga,
Yeah.
yoga is very good for the body, and what's good for physical health is good for your mental health as well. So staying healthy and staying active is huge for brain health, and having that slower music to connect to slowing down your body and living in that moment is impactful for yoga. Or, I mean, if you're looking for something that's more high impact, there's like Orange Theory Fitness or Pound Fit with the drumsticks.
Yeah, I've heard
that.
that.
Has a lot more high energy, and it uses that music to get you and your body into that mindset.
Oh, this is great. We extended you too long. I appreciate you being here.
Happy to be
Thank
here.
you.
Hopefully you get more donations coming in. I'm
Yeah.
sure people will be donating
We're
throughout
hoping.
the rest of the show. But again, if anyone needs information, my best tip is to start by reaching out to the helpline, 800-272-3900.
And being old, he put it out there 3 times. So we remember it now.
Absolutely.
No, thank you, Nathaniel. You've been great. And now I'll take that mic.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And you look good on TV. I was looking around at you, and you look good. So you have a good day, and thank you for helping
Thank
me.
you. I'll be in touch afterwards.
All right. Yes, we'll talk.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. All right. Anybody around in the studio or anything, or I got to keep talking here? Nobody else around? It's just on me. Wasn't that fascinating? You want to donate? Oh, guess what? I got a guy on camera. He's giving me signals. I thought I had to look at the camera better. Vinny, come on up. He's been helping us out for a short while. Thank you. Here's the mic for you. You've been behind the camera doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
And
you,
you're
Al.
showing me money, so I assume you got $1 or more?
Well, I have $10 here, actually.
Whoa,
So
let me take that.
you said donate $2. I can do that 5 times. There you are. Yeah.
Whoa, he's a superstar. We got $10 here now, and it's going good. And we got Vinny. We always like his voice. My co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier, he goes, Vinny got the best voice ever.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, now we got him on Pittsburgh Sportsline. He's not a normal sports guy, but he likes our shows, and he's been helping out here for a while. And he's from my alma mater, Keystone Oaks, so I salute you there.
Absolutely, KO represent.
And thank you so much. This helps us get a cure.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
it's just great. What do you think of this event and what we're doing here?
Yeah, so, I was very moved by your story personally.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Losing your mother to Alzheimer's or any degenerative brain condition, that's something that hits close to home for me. I had
Yeah.
a relative. He
Oh,
had
really?
a form. Yeah, he didn't have. I don't know if it would fall under the umbrella of Alzheimer's, but
Right.
he had a
It
form
may
of
not.
aphasia.
Yeah,
which I
that
think
might be a little
Yeah.
variant there.
He mentioned Nathaniel mentioned frontal lobal
Yes.
dementia as being Bruce Willis had that, and I think he had a
Right.
form of aphasia. So I think there's an overlap there.
Right.
But it's very hard to watch.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
terrible.
absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when you love them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's doing the best he can. There's he's in a care facility, so
Right.
that's
You go to
mitigated
that
the-
level, yes.
at
And he
some
gets
level.
the help that he needs and maybe medications that can
Yeah.
slow it down.
right. And from what Nathaniel said, it seems like there's more and more promotion. for
Yeah,
those
it keeps coming out
cures and sorts of
better and
things,
better.
so,
So,
yeah.
no, thank you for doing the camera work. You're
Yeah.
as strong as I am on talking. You've been on that camera with no break.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm easing into the kind of the routine that we got going here. I've been enjoying it a lot so far.
Right.
And yeah, and just to kind of sidebar about BPTV a little bit. There's just something about BPTV that's very community. It's community oriented, and so it's so simplistic. It's there's a kind of charm to it.
It's a
where-
basic, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, my family, they always have the TV on, I'm like always changing the channel, whatever, muting the commercials, doing
Right.
all that sort of thing. So
Right. Well,
having-
you're young.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
only 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do that.
For sure, yeah. I don't know if our generation picks up on the TV as much.
Well,
but-
my son Drew, I'm watching stuff and he's on the remote getting rid of commercials and stuff and switching.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're watching
I'm
4
the same
different
way,
shows. And I'm old, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, for sure. You
No,
make the most of,
that's cool to bring that
yeah.
up. Yeah. And
Yeah, and just
we-
discovering BPTV almost on accident one day, and I saw Nick. I went to high school with Nick. So,
Right.
It was just too cool. It was almost,
No,
it was like,
I
wow,
like bringing up
what are
the
they doing here?
personal things on what we're doing here.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
you're helping me. I could talk by myself in a room, but guess what? I'm over the air and we're live streaming this. So I'm honored. I'm thankful you're filling in on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, and I'm glad you could come here to help us do that, let alone help us on Pittsburgh Sportsline. And you may even be doing the control room in Pittsburgh Sportsline maybe in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, that'd be wonderful.
The door might be open a little bit with
Yeah.
different circumstances. So I'm excited with that. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I appreciate it. And we'll keep carrying on. Let's see what I can come up with here. Well, I got all this money. I got to bring it to the bank. Got over $100 some here. So I hope anybody out there that's watching, you can donate to my page and get that out there. And we want to try to get $1,000. So we're trying to get that there today. And I'm just blessed and honored to be able to do this. And look at how great it is to be in the studio. We're set up perfectly here. And I'm still going strong at 1 hour and 43 minutes. Excuse me there. Had a little frog. But yeah, nobody seems to be coming in. I think the Steelers, Pirates, and all that took away from it. And we'll just carry on that we're trying to help. And we may take a break right about now. I'm getting a little hoarse. Excuse me. We need a break. So we'll hit that.
If you're excited about Bethel Park's new splash park, then you'll want to hear this information. We have a wonderful opportunity for you to be a permanent part of this state-of-the-art community facility by purchasing a commemorative plaque engraved with your family or business name. Each 9 by 5 inch metal plaque will be mounted on the decorative fencing surrounding the splash park, visible for generations. Only 250 are available for purchase, so don't wait to order. We'll also be holding a special donor day at the splash park prior to the grand opening for all plaque donors. For more information or to purchase your plaque, scan the QR code below or visit the Bethel Park website. We hope you'll consider this opportunity to become part of the future of Bethel Park.
Let's Talk Tail Waggers reminds you that paws get hot too. Temperatures above 85 degrees can be dangerous for your animal. At that temperature, pavement and asphalt can register as high as 140 degrees. That heat can damage your pup's paws. There are many ways you can keep your dog safe in hot weather. Avoid walking in the afternoon. Try to walk your pup early in the morning or later in the evening. And if you have to go out in the afternoon, stick to shorter walks when the temperatures rise. Touch the pavement with the back of your hand. If it's too hot after 5 seconds, then it's too hot for your dog. Don't let your dog stop and stand on hot pavement. Make sure to keep them moving, and buy doggy booties for hot weather if you feel that's necessary. Bring a water bottle and a portable bowl with you. Give your dog water often. And if your dog has a longer coat, give them a shorter haircut for the hotter months. Listen to Aunt Susie and be a dog's best friend. A message from Let's Talk Tail Waggers.
I don't know how to edit.
But I can.
I can't work this camera.
But I can.
I can't get this to work.
But I can. I can do this. Now I need you to do the rest. Please volunteer at BPTV. Josh, let's get this show on the road. Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria and the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Cancer Foundation.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we put them out there and just want to help. They've raised over $100,000, and they have their event every September, the 1 mile 5K walk and run with superheroes.
Right. So you do a lot of good.
Yeah,
That's definitely great.
I'm trying my best. And you guys, without you guys, I can't do any of it. So I can be the idea and the mouthpiece and the mouthpiece and the mouthpiece, but we'll carry on. But yeah,
You know what I was actually thinking about too. We should have brought some musical instruments in because Vinny here knows how to play percussion instruments.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
Drums would
I could have brought my bongos at least.
I do have a keyboard in the closet if we want to get that out eventually and just play songs. I don't know. We
could,
got an hour.
We could maybe do that.
We got an hour to fill, right?
So improv, why not?
Yeah, sure.
We got 106 to go.
You played the saxophone, didn't you, Drew?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
You still think you could pick it up?
Ooh,
he might
that'd be a challenge. That'd be a challenge.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
It was from high school, so he's 33 now.
That's the last time you played?
He's older, and
a little bit after high school. Yep.
Yeah,
well,
he was. He actually in 8th grade, he just picked up the sax. He started with an alto sax, and he ended up getting a baritone sax.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing jazz shows, and he was in part of the jazz band.
About that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then we taught, as we're talking a little bit about Drew, his sister Casey and him both learned on a piano. We bought a Kwai piano.
Oh yeah.
And I can't play an instrument, can't sing or dance, but they'd play the piano, and I go, could you play it again? And they go, why? I go, I just like hearing the piano play. And they had one thing there that made the sound of bells, and I tell Drew and Casey all the time, well, Drew, I made him do it about 5 times, and he got better on the piano. So we had fun like that with music and all that.
My parents tried to give me piano lessons when I was, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And they found out that I was probably going to be a good drummer when all I would do is I would play rhythms on the notes. I wouldn't try to learn scales.
Really? That's interesting.
That was rough, and they were, the teacher was just getting frustrated. I mean, a 4-year-old.
Well, you're only 4 years old.
Exactly. But yeah, you want to, that's the time you want to introduce those kinds of things too to get the, because the brain's a sponge at that age, I guess.
Right.
But I just wasn't having it. When I'd play those rhythms, that's how they figured out. Like, yeah, maybe we'll put them in percussion for a little bit there.
Well, they can hear and see, so they can give you the guidance.
My dad's always been very musically inclined, so
really?
He kind of had the foreshadowing, and he played marching, snare, and band too in high school.
Get on.
So yeah, makes sense. But when did you start playing?
So I started playing in 8th grade, I think it was. I was in 8th grade band.
Like Drew.
Yeah. And then I think I started marching band around the same time. So, like you were saying with your dad, I think I started I just kind of worked my way up. I did bass, then snare, and then I did the quad drums for I think it was the year I got section leader in 10th grade. So from then on, I did the tenors, or tenors, quads, whatever. And,
really?
Yeah, those were the most fun to play, but they'd be a pain during parades and stuff to be weighing you down.
I was going to say, how do you carry it?
Yeah.
You're a thin guy there.
Yeah. It was kind of a trade-off. They were the most fun to play, but definitely
more hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that was a lot of fun, and I think.
Did you stay in the marching band the whole high school?
I think I quit my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of, by that point, a lot of my friends that were in it had graduated. I kind of just lost interest in that specifically.
You
but
quit
I did
marching band?
I did, yeah. I didn't stay through
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Really?
That's why we brought him on.
I guess we never talked about it after that.
We never did. This guy was always, he was always so flashy. Vinny was very good. He's talented playing, the music, but he had an added flair to him. And I was always envious of that. He would flip his sticks, and he would do these little tricks and stuff. And he did that in marching band, too.
Yeah.
And I was always like, man, that is some talent.
That's next level.
If you can play the music and do the tricks with it, I was never about that. I was always very classic. I was always very, let me just get the notes right, because, they're stressful enough. But to have the added flair and put on a show like that, this dude had it. That's why it surprises me, though.
Vinny, how'd you come up with that?
Well, yeah, so I was going to chime in there and say, when...
Oh, perfect. Okay, we're rolling. Were we off that whole time?
Yeah, your microphone
the
whole time.
Hopefully, yeah. Yours probably picked it up.
Oh,
but anyways,
my goodness.
Yeah.
We forgot to ask.
All right.
Only at BPTV Live.
Yeah, so...
We're trying to entertain you.
Absolutely.
Please donate $1. Go to the site. Check it out.
Michael,
I think I would have picked up on that.
Michael, put the graphic up, my guy.
On the Alzheimer's there, yeah.
Hit that take 2 button, remember. There we go.
All right.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, well, I was just going to chime in there and say, when I was in freshman year, you were a senior.
Right.
And so I was kind of your protege in jazz band. So I also alongside marching, I also played the set in jazz band, and so from then
okay.
on, I was the set drummer. But when I was, when I had like auxiliary percussion or whatever, or when I wasn't on the set, which was most of the time my freshman year, I kind of just had downtime. I'd always have a set of sticks around, and that's just kind of how I filled the time. So
wow,
I was always
cool.
fidgeting with something. That's kind of what like you were saying growing up. That's what sets us drummers apart. Is always just like fidgeting with something. Whether it be like blasting a rhythm or just kind of like or jamming on your desk or whatever,
on the
playing with
doors
sticks.
while he was waiting. While I was setting stuff up, he was watching me through the door. Just
no way
on the in the little doorway. Just
he can keep.
Oh
a beat.
yeah.
He can keep a beat.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if I'm not at a set, or if I like can't come up with ideas at the kit, then I always have to like take a step back, whether it be like bongos or just like drumming with my fingers, doing something, just to like get those ideas, give them a
wow. That is good stuff. We got the music part of here.
You want to learn how to play the drums today? I feel like we're heading down that path, aren't we?
Yeah, I could always learn.
Getting a
I'm
little
not very
improv,
coordinated though.
Absolutely, why not?
My rhythm's not that good, but
What are you good at,
I
Joe?
could give it a shot.
What are you good at?
You said you played the baritone sax.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I played the baritone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I started with the piano, and then I transitioned clarinet.
Well, here his mother wanted him to play clarinet.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And he played that a little bit.
Squidward.
But he wanted to do something else.
Yeah, I want a more manlier, deeper voice, deeper instrument. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
I remember I wanted to play the clarinet for the only reason of being Squidward tentacles, and my parents told me, "Nah, probably not." And I'm glad they told me no, based on how things turned out. But you couldn't play. You couldn't play now, right? You said no.
Probably.
I could freestyle something.
If I gave you a piano right now, like if we got a keyboard out and we all started playing, would you be able to play any music, freestyle or anything?
Oh, he hasn't done that
maybe,
longer.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be tough.
When did you stop playing piano?
Oh, probably like 10 years ago, I'd say. Yeah.
Jeez,
yeah.
Oh
it's been a minute. Yeah, I lost it.
Oh well. Maybe no music for Joe.
We got that.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can talk. One of the
You
things.
sing maybe.
Oh no.
No, he doesn't want to
Your
hear
voice is the first instrument. How about it?
Did you see? We had somebody walk in too. Did you see?
No.
Come on out.
Who walked in? Steve.
Hey, there he is.
Step up here.
Come on, Eric.
You can take my spot.
We got a microphone and a chair in there. Or you play? He'll come.
We'll add to this crew.
Absolutely.
Steve Fisher, one of the volunteers, preceded my time here. So he's been
Yeah.
here for a long time. Here he comes.
All right, be careful there.
Here, little Michael Mariano there's going to hand you a microphone, too. You just, just come in. We're doing it.
Yeah, here, he can sit on my left.
Right back here.
Yeah.
Can we get him in?
There we go.
We can't get him in the picture.
Well, I gotta go over there. Oh well.
Here, why don't you stand up and slide over here,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and I'll take
Wait,
this
what?
from you. Yeah, slide over there.
You can be in front of the painting if you can. Whoa.
And we'll all just
Here, we'll move up.
I'll just
Here.
cram in here.
Here, how about this?
There we go.
I'll just move it up a little.
All right, almost there.
There.
Yeah, we're
There.
rocking.
got him
there.
in.
Look at this.
There we go.
Now we're in business.
This is actually the most people I've seen on this show live. This is 5 for the first time. So
I know, we got
history being
5.
made here.
We were talking about doing a 5. So we did it. Well, Steve's been here. How old are you now?
I'm 25. I've been here 7 years.
I was going to say 7 ago. Yeah. And when he started, we knew he was a superstar from Baldwin.
That's right. I was a former Fighting Highlander back in 2017. I didn't play sports, but I knew a lot about the sports players and sprouted on the team every single year, even though they didn't win football.
I know. But you were in the camera stuff. How'd you get started with camera things?
I used to have been part of our local news channel that we had.
That's
called-
what I wanted to bring up. Yes, sir.
It was called Highlander News Network, or HNN, or Highlander Highlights News Network, HHN.
Okay, well, you got the letters right. We're
There
good.
we go. And what we did was we did a lot of like special broadcasting and special shows that
Like what?
We did like secrets rooms of all of like the high school and stuff, which was like a limited series that we did. But mostly
Secret rooms.
Yes, it was only like a one-time thing, but for the most part, they're lost to time now. They're all gone. But the most popular stuff was we did like our first live broadcast, like on location with things when it comes to like sports events or.
Then you saw me doing on location. No wonder you fit right in.
because I was used to that kind of stuff. But this time, yours was a little more advanced because we had special cameras. It was all high definition. It was top notch.
Yeah.
Where us, we used old school Skype for everything.
Whoa.
So just blurry camera, 280 pixels, and just. Can you make out what Stephen Fisher's trying to say on the camera there?
You were talking on camera then.
Yes.
Nice.
But then I became more behind the scenes because, it was fun while it lasted.
Whoa.
You're talking pretty comfortably now, though, aren't you?
Well, I used to be called the voice of the Highlander News Network, so.
Whoa.
Nice.
What an honor. We're honored. We salute you. Well, you said you were going to be here at 3, but what were you doing today that you got delayed?
Well,
I need to hear this because wait till you guys hear this.
all right, Talking Machine, you had to bring it up.
You know I did.
The shirt that I'm wearing on today is everyone.
Drop the mic down. Let it get a better view of that.
There you go. Here's the shirt right here.
Excellent. And what does that mean?
So we had our annual Future Fest for the organization I volunteer with and I'm on the board of directors with. Our organization every year does what is called the Future Camp, which was originally called the Joey Travolta Inclusion Film Camp, named after brother of John Travolta, Joey Travolta,
Yeah.
who usually visited Pittsburgh and all different cities around the United States.
How cool was that? How'd you even find them?
Well, me
Or
and my
they
buddy,
find you?
me and my buddy were in high school, and we were, a bunch of film nuts. So we always used to look up scripts and write our own scripts and just screw around on camera a lot. So, we had our own little film thing that we did.
Whoa.
And so in high school, we did this film program called the Joey Travolta Film Camp.
Of course.
And I was the star of the movie and did director work with Mr. Travolta himself.
No way.
And so, unfortunately, though, as of 2020, he moved on and wanted to do some other film programs all across the country. But luckily for Evolve, with our reputation that we've had throughout the last decade, we spun off our own program called Future Fest, which
Wow.
every year.
How can people donate to you? First, Alzheimer's. Donate now $1. How can you help Steve and Evolve out?
Just go to our organization, evolvecoaching.org, and we're looking into some fundraising, donations, and all sorts of other opportunities as we are actually starting a brand new location the second half of this year in Garfield.
No way. Garfield's been moving and getting better in the last 10 years.
Oh, it is a phenomenal neighborhood from what it's looking like right now.
Yeah, I know an attorney there that has his office there, and he had a side area. He had music come in and play in a side area, like a little field and a stage. So there's cool stuff going on there. They have some great tea places and coffee places.
There's also some museums over there, apparently.
Yeah, I heard of them. Yeah.
So a lot of also art stores and art storefronts and museums that are there. It's becoming a very cultural neighborhood.
Who knew what Steve Fisher was doing? This is unreal. And he's
We're saving the world today, both with stopping Alzheimer's disease and helping kids in our community with disabilities to help them get a brighter future.
We got you younger or older?
Older too. We're always looking for high school and college kids that are looking to start their career paths. And that's what this
Wow.
new program is doing. We're opening our new inclusion center, which is on Penn Avenue in Garfield near the Children's Hospital.
I know where it is.
And unfortunately, I actually had the poster in my car, but it's a brand new facility that's starting up. And what we're doing is
You can go out and get it and show it later.
we can do that.
We'll bring you back in.
I'll be most happy.
But no,
to bring
keep
it.
going with what you're doing. I appreciate it. I like to help as many people as possible. And if you guys have ideas and stuff like Steve's doing it, this is all great.
So,
Don't
yeah.
forget Alzheimer's.
There you go. And so what we're doing is with the film center, or the inclusion center, as it's called. What we're doing is we're giving these kids the opportunities to get them to learn about the filmmaking process, give them an art center to kind of feel welcome to the community.
Right.
Get them to learn about audio visual learning, doing some new opportunities.
And what's the feedback with this, with you trying to guide them and help them?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. Our film camp and stuff, with everything that we've done up to the new inclusion center that we're starting to release later this year,
Right.
the numbers keep growing. And this year, we've actually reached more than 45 students participating in our program this year.
That's great. Congrats. Well, so you were busy and you wanted to come out with the talking machine and Alzheimer's again. Last year, you were helping people who were lined up in here. We needed you guiding them. You did great last year, and we won't talk about the hot sauce.
Thank you very much for not reminding me about that incident.
I'm not bringing that up at all. But we had that from Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Shout out to them.
Yeah, thanks
Oh,
Frankie
they're
and his son
incredible.
for
Yeah,
trying to
absolutely.
bring me some hot sauce that nearly killed me that night.
Hey,
Junior stays fixing me up. Shout out to Frankie Jr.
Yeah.
Frank Panero and all them.
Thanks, Junior. Your hot sauce was really good, but gosh darn it, you pretty much burned my lips off.
and more.
Much more. Yeah, keep it that
we
way.
aren't talking about that. No, that's great.
Oh, and
Go ahead.
The Future Fest. What we did today was we kind of showed off a sneak preview of what the kids had done this year. The last 2 weeks, the kids were at this film camp, Future Camp, and they created a very phenomenal artistic play that was written, and it was
Really?
and they did it all in a matter of 2 weeks.
What was it called?
Arcade Anarchy.
I like the anarchy in there in the AA.
And so what we're doing with the kids is, or what the kids are doing is, they put on like 2 weeks worth of script writing, a bunch of set and prop piece designs.
Wow.
They created like this very phenomenally and very accurate looking arcade cabinets just out of like everyday materials like cardboard and wool balls and popsicle sticks and everything to get like the arcade cabinet look and feel.
Really? Wow, that's great.
And on the final day, they actually, and within 2 weeks, they thought they were so far behind. By Friday, the last week of Friday, they were able to put on their show, and they had the opportunity to actually perform in front of a live audience.
No way. That's so cool.
And so later this year, they're going to edit the film, put it all together, and it's going to be like a rebroadcasting of what the play actually looked like and give you a feel for what these kids actually do every single year at our film program. And although I can't give much out about the script because, the kids were, keeping everything to the camp themselves and just to kind of give it as a surprise to all the parents. But like what the amount of effort that these kids do every single year, from like the music, the props, the acting, the script writing, they really worked very hard throughout these 2 weeks to really come up with something that was very valuable.
I didn't know we
cherishable
get
to
such
them.
an in-depth thing about what you're doing, and you're helping the kids, and they're doing plays. That's awesome. You got me pumped up. No, that's great.
So we do this every late July and August, and starting now, and I actually was a former film camper myself years ago.
Get on.
And again, like I said, I was an actor and a director in the program, but nowadays we try to vary it among like the different programs every year. Last year they did something in animation, but this year it was more playwright.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping in the future we see more kids coming up and creating like these new ideas. Maybe we could do 1 year animation or something more with that, with our new inclusion center.
Or a combination.
Oh yeah, we're again like these kids don't show any signs of slowing down with the work that they do, and like they start out as, just like any one of us who probably volunteer here at BPTV. We started out with little experience, just shy and trying to understand the ways of how we do things. But then as time continues to push forward, we just, they start to show their creativity and they meet new friends along the way.
Look at how you did it here. You thrived in this environment.
And that's our goal, to help with these kids. And that's, the same thing as what we had with BPTV, and especially the talking machine.
Whoa. I remember when I first brought you on an on-location show. You went crazy. He was so pumped up. I didn't know all his history. And we're going to set up an on-location. I have it pretty simple. We have where we're sitting, have smoking gym, and we have a chair for one guest. Steve's guiding everything, has the camera set up, and he goes, talking machine, you might want to do this, you might want to do that. And I go, hold on a second, let's get this one done, and we'll see what you can do. And it went on for a few different shows, and then he came up with a couple ideas or something just to move something around. So he was adding to my shows when he first started here, let alone what he was doing in the studio, because he's always very creative like Vinny is, and same with Drew.
Well, I get super impressed by these guys because, like, Vinny walked in here, and it sounds like kind of how Steve got here too. That
he was running.
There's just like a basic interest, and then all of a sudden, you have just the natural interest develop into taking an interest in learning the skills, and then all of a sudden you're like, I got an education in this, so I feel like I had a bit of a leg up coming in. But like to come off the street like you did in particular and just be like, hey, I saw this cable channel and it's you guys.
I like it.
You guys look
I like
cool.
it.
I want to try to learn this stuff. Like That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and that's what pumped me up with Vinny starting here too, and wanting to do these things, because sometimes, no offense, but everybody's different, and they don't want to go to a certain level where they're happy at. Steve, we couldn't stop him. Vinny's moving the same way like Steve is. And when I told him we do on location at a bar and restaurant and things like that, he's like, I'll go.
I'm always there to help out wherever it is. Even though, you know, I started out in film as my background, but as time moved on, finances kind of helped. But I still kind of find a middle ground between the both of them. So.
And that's why you show up every once in a while, right? You're just like, hey,
hey,
I like this place.
He left us because
it's
he went to
passion,
school.
pride.
Tell him what degree you have, and
What I'm doing now? Okay,
yeah,
well.
I need you to update us.
Bachelor's degree from Point Park University in accounting was my background. Worked 2.5 years in auditing and taxes, and now I do a lot with I do my master's degree right now, finishing that up this fall, and I'm working on a data analysis program for the end of this year.
And he started at BPTV 7 years ago.
And
like
this is where it
Vinny's on
started
his
it
way
all.
too.
Did anything from BPTV help you with your career?
Who? With Dave or Al?
Anyway,
Oh.
no, it was a joke. Yeah.
Oh.
No, we don't do numbers here. We do a lot of visuals and audio. It's just
Oh yeah.
How do you
Like
how
look
do
at look at the guys behind the scene, and Nick's been on the show and stuff. Vinny made it to Pittsburgh Sportsline sooner than almost anybody to get in there.
Happy
So
to be there. Absolutely.
yeah, you're in. We'll have to tell Smoke and Jimmy should have watched this. Vinny made his debut. It was only 3 minutes, but we've added another 20 on
He'll
there, I think.
probably watch the replay at 4 a.m. You know.
Well, even 7
Online,
a.m.
yeah.
because he's not in bed yet.
You'll have to teach him how to access the live stream on YouTube.
Yeah,
They-
I will. Yeah,
Ethan can
it's
help
a
him with that.
process. It's a process.
On
He's
one of his
smoking and
two
we're not.
phones.
Or anybody here. Okay, and also just a little bit of a difference from your starting and your starting. I was here BPTV back when there was 2 rooms down the police hallway here. It was the
Small rooms.
Oh yeah, and like there was just 2 rooms there, and I had to run back and forth. Not just like here where it was like, okay, here's the door here, and you can go to the cameras right here, and you're done. No, it was like I was in the studio with the recorder box going on, had to run down the hallway like a football player going down to get his 1st and 10,
Yeah.
and just trying to get to Al and say, okay, switch the camera this way, go. And then back and forth I go. I felt like I lost like 5 pounds just walking around all the time doing that.
That's true. That's
Oh,
why. That's why we started getting pizza and hoagies for you.
Yeah, it was able to keep me up and going, but man, I felt like my legs were about to give out at the end of the day.
Well, we had like up to 2 people doing it, so that way you didn't have to run. But we were in a little in-between stage with volunteers that left and gone on, and some were here for a short time and then left. So Steve came in, and he got bombed with everything.
Yeah, that's why I think we call it the Fisher era from 2017 to 2018.
Yeah.
Because that was when we were going into transition from our old studio to now. And then when Judge Arnone moved down the street,
Right.
this has became our home base. And
Well,
since-
tell them how small it was. We had 1 desk
I was gonna say, where was the old studio?
oh yeah, like
in the police station.
in the police
Oh,
station.
okay.
So like you walk out
right
the door-
down the hall.
So you walk
On
through
the
the front door of
side,
the
left
police
side.
station. Like there was no glass wall or anything. Or actually, as a matter of fact, to get into the building, you had to go to the police desk and actually ask the sheriff or the
No,
dispatcher there.
yeah.
And you
To
had to get
let
the
us
key.
in.
Yeah. And so I had
no
to get
kidding.
back there, get in the key, and our office was like as wide as where the desk was to where the curtain is. That's as big as our little closet was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And
be
we
great-
had,
be
we had
grateful.
4 on a panel.
We'll show you old videos sometimes. It was rough. But
Yeah,
even that doesn't
absolutely.
illustrate
You'll love it.
Oh
how
yeah.
bad. I never worked in there, but I'm seeing it
Yeah,
when I go back.
Steve was the transition guy, and timing was everything.
I mean, if you even go to like the old pictures that are in there, you could see Devin Shea and
Aaron Ward.
Aaron Ward just moving
I
all
was
the stuff
hoping
in.
Aaron Ward could make it. She suggested I do something like this, and when I told her a telethon, Nathaniel liked it and she liked it. So
But imagine like everything we have in here is like even the editors and the computers we have and stuff. Imagine that just fitting in this room.
Oh my gosh.
Like everything that used
I
to
almost
be.
started-
Well,
Yeah.
a room half the size.
Room half the
Well, the
size.
studio was half, and then I believe
Yeah,
the back
yeah.
was the other. If I
Right,
Yeah,
so
you
it'd
were
be
there.
close.
Yeah, and then you had
Oh,
to
yeah.
walk out into the hallway and go down the hall just to get to the cameras. And the tables themselves were like angled in such a way that made the room so tight and condensed.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean the arrangement here just makes so much sense to me. Like everything's kind of where you'd expect it to be. Like I feel like that would just be.
No, it's a
you'd be
nice,
tripping over each
like,
other.
real
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
studio.
Yeah,
We
but it had
did-
to evolve into this. Is what I'm.
We
hearing.
didn't
It
have it
wasn't,
then. Like
yeah.
when we went in, there were 4 of us at one desk.
Yeah, and what's fortunate, I think, is that limitations abet creativity. They say, like when you don't have that many options, like that's what's gonna propel you forward and give you that. If you have everything given to you, like if you just have
here's
infinite
a friend of
possibilities,
mine
you're not gonna. What is it like? You're not gonna have the best outcomes. And
Yeah.
I think that being limited when you're still learning is the best way to go about it. And I know Dave has talked about his experiences, like doing analog splicing, and if you
yeah.
screw something up, like you got to start all over again. And while that can be a nightmare, that definitely kind of imparts.
Oh, they went through that.
Yeah, that
Hey,
went
I may have you guys clear out for 10 minutes.
Absolutely,
with
yeah. Sure,
James.
sure.
He can out-talk the talking machine.
Well, then by all means, have him on.
He was on your last show, right? The one that's
Yeah.
up right now.
Yeah.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, and he needs to ask you to change something on it, like put a phone number in instead of his AFG home thing.
I think we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, we're doing some side stuff on the air here.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
Move the chairs one out and back, and then we'll put Vinny's chair back where where Nick is. Just a little direction here. You guys are good. Hey, thank all of you guys. I appreciate it. We did 26 minutes together. Way to go, Steve.
I don't know. I had it in me.
You did. Now you're up to 29.
Ain't that something?
Moving on up. All right, we'll bring James in as available. James, you ready?
Can I come in?
Yes, sir. You're more than welcome. Sit in the chair and
make a
move the
donation?
move the chair in a little bit and
Just turn the switch on.
and turn the switch on the mic.
Okay. There we are.
And thank you for $50.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm adding it to the pile.
I was at the German club today.
Right. We'll get that on there. Look at that. Teutonia on North Side.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there for different things, and I know the people that run it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great facility, historic.
Yes, it's been there for probably 100 years.
Over 100, I think.
So today we had a.
You can hold the mic under your chin.
Today we had a bike ride, annual bike ride. I'm not sure how many years it's been. This shirt I have is from 2014.
Yeah.
So probably at least 10 years. And we rode from the north side down by Hines, crossed over to the bike trail, down to like the casino.
Wow.
Crossed the.
How many miles?
I think total was maybe 20 miles.
And you did that today?
Did that today.
And it didn't rain?
It did not rain, not the whole time, until just an hour ago.
I know. We heard thunder outside. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel?
Well,
it's humid out there.
It was very humid. It was only 82 when we started.
Get him a water. Drew, could you get a water for James?
The humidity, I think, was like 80, felt
Come
like
on.
87. Thank you. Thank you.
We played ball.
There you go. Good.
Yeah.
And
No, that's great.
We rode through the Strip District and part of town, that kind of stuff, and we ended up
Can you hear him all right? I should have opened that for you.
over to the south side, and then
Take a sip. Take a sip. I want my guy hydrated here. Teresa Mariano's watching. Thank you for your donation. Chip Hayner's watching. Thanks, Chip. If you have any comments you want us to put out there, we can do that. And everybody else that's watching, we appreciate you. Are you ready?
Yeah, so then we went over the south side and down the south side trail down
And
to
how
the-
many were doing this?
We had probably about 100.
100 bikers.
And we had purple shirts like yours.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, although I had to leave my purple shirt at home because I wore it. And
You might have been a little wet.
That's right, yeah. But our ultimate destination was the Hofbrauhaus.
I understand.
Hofbrauhaus for some German beer, some pretzels and that kind of stuff, and
some Wiener Schnitzel and.
Well, we just had the beer and the pretzels.
You were going light.
Yeah, yeah. Then back down past Station Square, and a real scary thing is, if you've never done it.
I never done it, so.
All the way down past Station Square, onto Carson Street, onto the sidewalk, and then go up onto the walking trail.
Yeah.
On the Fort Pitt Bridge, on the lower level, heading towards Point State Park.
Wow.
And the scary thing for me is the fact that the guardrail is about the same height as your seat of your bike.
No way. You could go into the river.
Yeah, if someone bumped into you.
See how I understand that?
Right in the drain. Yeah.
Wow. You could go for a swim, cool down a little.
Right, but
you might end up in the Ohio.
We made it back to Point State Park and then over Fort Duquesne Bridge, and
what a journey!
Yeah, and then back to the German Club for more German beer.
Wow, you got refreshments.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah.
No, that is great.
So an annual ride. I'd like to know how many years we've been doing it. Probably at least 10 years.
Yeah, well, it looks that way on your shirt there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, 2014?
2014.
Yeah, that's 10 to me.
Yeah, yeah.
No doubt about it.
So glad to be here. Glad to be here.
No, thank you here. We're trying to raise money. We want people to donate at least $1. You went 50 times that, so I salute you.
You're welcome.
We're trying to get
You're
a
welcome.
cure so people don't lose their mothers like I lost mine. Gloria's looking down, smiling. That's my boy helping others.
So sad, 36 years.
Yeah. She was 55.
Too young to die.
Yeah.
Too young.
No, it definitely was. My sisters and I, like I said previously, very upset. My dad, we're all heartbroken to go with it through the stages where she didn't talk the last 3 years.
And how young were you when that happened?
32.
32. Wow.
Yeah.
So sad.
No, it is. But we overcome. I try to honor her because of how nice she was and what a good person. And, it just inspires me. And I had a good dad, too. May they both be in heaven smiling down here.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
No doubt about
Look how
it.
good their boy's doing.
Oh, yeah, I'm truly blessed.
The talkie machine.
I owe it all to God. That's all. He's led me, so I appreciate that. And thank you for coming out.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
Not a problem. I went home, took a shower, and I told
you're
my wife,
fresh.
I'm heading to Bethel Park.
Wow, who would think? You're in the studio a couple times in 3 weeks. Right?
That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
No, and you
Yeah,
did
glad
a
to
great
be here.
show. You did a talking machine show with me, and it was great. And this guy is called the Money Man.
Yes, yes.
And we didn't use it on the talking machine show because by the time we finished, he was talking about his mortgage brokers and helping other people and credit reports and how to get their finances straightened out and how to save money when they were broke and owed tons of money.
Right. How to clean things up because unfortunately some people go to other, as I've been told, just call it mortgage lending institutions, and they turn them down for whatever reason. And I've always said the fact that if someone's been working for 2 years or more and they're paying their bills currently today, I can counsel them to fix.
Listen to this, the
bad
Money
stuff
Man's
is.
James Bukovac can help anybody. Tell them your number twice because I'm old.
Sure. 412-377-1370. Let's repeat that. 412-377-1370.
I learned that being in business a long time, at least twice on a number.
Yes, yes, so they get it.
Hopefully it sank in. Donate to Alzheimer's. Not as much as James did, but anything is appreciated. If you have $1, just put it in there, $5, $10, whatever. We're trying to get whatever we can to help find a cure for Alzheimer's. So it's a great cause. And this man can help your finances out. Give me one of the stories that we didn't talk about on the show with how you help people in need of a mortgage.
Well, let's see.
Like, what would you do? Somebody comes in off the street. They say, I got some debts. I got turned down by a mortgage broker. And
mortgage lender.
Mortgage lender. How do you help me?
Well, I'm not sure if I told you the story when I was here before. Did I tell
Well, you can lay any story out. I
Okay.
was just giving
Yeah.
you a parameter.
Okay. So I had a guy referred to me a couple years ago, and he was turned down by 3 mortgage lenders in the Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
Every time they would send him a statement of credit denial letter through the mail, standardized form, a box checked off: insufficient credit, insufficient income.
Right.
So a real estate agent referred him to me. I looked at his credit and I knew instantly what the problem was.
What was it?
He had a tax lien for unpaid payroll taxes, and the only way you could have that is if you're an employer, and he was an employee. And as soon
How
as
could that even happen?
As soon as I told him this, he knew exactly whose it was, because he had a very common name. Let's just make one up, like Kevin White.
Okay.
And there was a guy in his area that owned a car dealership, and
Yeah.
they had the exact same name. So
Wow.
most likely that was the car dealership guy's debt and not his.
Right, because he owned a business.
Right. So I told him what to do. I said, you're going to have to take a day off of work, go to the Allegheny County Courthouse in person. I told him what documents to take with him. When he got down there, he called me, and I talked to the ladies there. They got 2 documents that proved it wasn't his Social Security number.
Right.
He got it back to me. I got it to my credit agency. Within a month, it went off his credit report. His credit score went up by like 100 points.
Wow.
And within the next month, he
See
bought a
the
house.
money man.
Yeah.
He'll boost your credit score.
Yeah, yeah. So,
and if there's a problem with your credit, you can help fix it, because you said you got to be
Well,
vigilant. I learned on the show
Mhm.
that you got to be very vigilant with your credit reports.
yeah, so I counsel people as far as to teach them what to do. They have to do it. I can't do it for them. But most people don't know what to do. So if I have
Well, how
the
could you?
experience-
Nobody teaches you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You taught yourself on all this.
It was over the years, 25 years of doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
Money man got experience.
Okay.
He can help you. He helped me with my donations here.
Glad to help.
He can help you.
Glad to help. If I hadn't called yesterday, I wouldn't have known about your
Who
telethon.
knew?
today.
Yeah, with the telethon,
Glad I
the
called.
second annual telethon.
There you
here.
go. There you go.
Look,
Many
we
years
got
to
it
come.
going around the screen there.
Uh-huh.
That's how to donate.
Yeah.
Look at the nice, colorful shirt they got for
That's
me.
a great color. That is that purple? Is
It
that-
goes with my eyes.
There you go. Yeah. Uh-huh. And a little of your hair.
Well, the hair, it'll go with anything now. It was dark brown before in the mustache, so it just fades in there.
Okay.
No, we're good.
Mhm.
And how have you done the last couple weeks? How's business?
Business a little slow. Little slow.
Well, you got vacation time.
Yeah, vacation time. What's happening, not just in our market here, but it's probably all over the country, as the real estate agents say, the inventory is low. So
I hear it all the time.
With less houses being out there for sale, there's
There's
just
less
not
sales.
enough- Yeah, less sales. We have tons of buyers, and when a house goes on the market, it's under contract within 2 or 3 days. And
So this is a seller's market? Because
Is
you
that
got
what it
all
be?
the
Seller's
buyers?
market? Yeah, I guess the seller's market, yeah. And this all had to do with back 6 years ago when the interest rates went down to 3.5%.
Right.
That was the wrong thing for the country, and it's going to take 10 to 15 years to work us out of that hole.
The money man has spoken. I believe him. He made a believer out of me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No doubt about it. My first mortgage, 1983, Mellon Bank, 12%.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation, they think inflation's bad at 3 or 4%.
Right.
We were going up to 18%.
And what people don't realize is the average interest rate over the last 35 years is 8%. So,
8%.
So today I have interest rates as low as 6.25. You know,
And that's good.
That's good. That's great.
But
Yeah.
why is the media so negative about that?
I don't speak for the media. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying rhetorically.
Yeah, yeah.
I trust you on it.
Well,
with you're in it.
They look back at the rates we had 6 years ago when rates were at 3.5%, and that's like I'm not sure what got them down that low, but I don't have a crystal
Manipulation and stuff.
I'm not sure if they'll ever get down that low again.
Right.
The thing I
well,
know,
it was historic, James.
Yes. If you buy a house today, you're going to get the appreciation as opposed to waiting until next year or the year after.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know people that bought like 10 years ago, paid like $125,000, and now their house is worth $275,000.
Wow.
So why wait? Buy today, you know, and gain the appreciation.
Here's a guy that can help. Look at this. We got the sales pitch going there. He can help. We got a young man at 22 there. We got my son
22.
at 33. We got Nick at 25, and you got Steve at 25.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just starting out.
Right. In fact, I talked to a lady this week. Her mom moved to Florida, and she was told that she couldn't get a loan. I got her information. I looked at the credit. There was a couple dings on there,
Yeah.
small collections that she could pay off readily. So as of Friday I pre-approved her. She can buy a house up to like $275.
Get out.
Yeah, she didn't think she could because another lender turned it on.
Wow. Not everybody's like the money man. Notice I'm using that nickname.
Right. In fact, an interesting thing for today.
Go ahead.
Today is a historic day also in the real estate world because there was a lawsuit filed and was granted back on October 31st of 2023.
Okay.
And as of today, August 17, 2024, is the first day that the rules go into effect. And the rules for real estate agents and anyone looking to buy a home out there, prior to this, if you wanted to go see a home, you contacted a realtor and they would meet you at the house and show you a home. But what they have to start doing in the future, everyone has to sign a buyer's agency agreement.
Wow.
So if Bob's showing you a house, you have to sign that before he unlocks the door and lets you in the house.
Get out.
Let's say you sign it for a week. Doesn't have to be for 6 months.
Right.
And then if you are interested in making an offer on that house,
you have
to use him because he basically showed you the house.
Right. So
prior to this, agents would show them a house and not sign the agreement, and then they'd go off to some other agent like a week or two later.
So this will help realtors.
It will. It will. I think in the long run it will. It will help them.
It's needed. It's a change. People aren't receptive to a lot of changes.
That's correct. But I think as time goes on and every buyer realizes they have to sign one of these agreements, it'll be a
little easier.
Right. Right.
No, that is a great tip. Look, you heard it here on our Alzheimer's second annual telethon. Who would think? We had the four guys talking before you because we had Italian Day here in Bloomfield.
Oh, yeah.
We had the Pirates and Steelers. So most of my friends are gone.
I was telling my wife that it's still the Little Italy days in Bloomfield for tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
it was from the 15th through the 18th.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get her to go.
Yeah, there you
play
go.
Some
bocce.
Bocce. Yeah,
Definitely.
And they have some really good bands out there too.
Oh, they always do.
I think they have a band that mimics the Fleetwood Mac.
Wow, I like Fleetwood Mac back in the day. Stevie Nicks and them.
All good, all good.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you made it here and you took up some time. If you need to go, you can hit the road.
Okay, what do I do?
Just turn the mic off.
Turn it off.
Put it on the seat.
Thank you for having me.
Get your cards.
Have a
You're
great day.
welcome. Thank you. Hold it. Take your water.
Take my water.
It's
There's
free.
my water.
I
There you
bought
go.
it for you.
Okay,
That's
thank
the
you,
least
Al.
I could do. And then tell Nick what you need with our last show since I was talking on air.
Okay.
I'll try to cover a little bit here with 24 minutes. I may need some more help, but we'll see. We got Vinny waiting in the wings. Big Drew's waiting in the wings. So we'll do something. But look at James came out after doing his bicycle thing and got it all in, and he was able to give you some tips. If you're looking at a mortgage, he's the guy that can help. If you need credit help, he can do that too. So we got a lot of good things on the thing here, and I'm glad we could do it. Is Steve still around? Is Steve around or Drew?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can bring them in to trickle in and then get you in here too.
Absolutely.
Hey, can we get the guys to trickle in, Steve and Drew? Yeah, how about if we take a minute break? Michael, could we take like a minute break? Give us a break for a minute and then we'll rearrange the studio a little bit.
If you're excited about Bethel Park's new splash park, then you'll want to hear this information. We have a wonderful opportunity for you to be a permanent part of this state-of-the-art community facility by purchasing a commemorative plaque engraved with your family or business name. Each 9 by 5 inch metal plaque will be mounted on the decorative fencing surrounding the splash park, visible for generations. Only 250 are available for purchase, so don't wait to order. We'll also be holding a special donor day at the splash park prior to the grand opening for all plaque donors. For more information or to purchase your plaque, scan the QR code below or visit the Bethel Park website. We hope you'll consider this opportunity to become part of the future of Bethel Park.
Let's Talk Tail Waggers reminds you that paws get hot too. Temperatures above 85 degrees can be dangerous for your animal. At that temperature, pavement and asphalt can register as high as 140 degrees. That heat can damage your pup's paws. There are many ways you can keep your dog safe in hot weather. Avoid walking in the afternoon. Try to walk your pup early in the morning or later in the evening. And if you have to go out in the afternoon, stick to shorter walks when the temperatures rise. Touch the pavement with the back of your hand. If it's too hot after 5 seconds, then it's too hot for your dog. Don't let your dog stop and stand on hot pavement. Make sure to keep them moving, and buy doggy booties for hot weather if you feel that's necessary. Bring a water bottle and a portable bowl with you. Give your dog water often. And if your dog has a longer coat, give them a shorter haircut for the hotter months. Listen to Aunt Susie and be a dog's best friend. A message from Let's Talk Tail Waggers.
I don't know how to edit.
But I can.
I can't work this camera.
But I can.
I can't get this to work. But I can. I can do this. Now I need you to do the rest. Please volunteer at BPTV. Josh, let's get this show on the road. Welcome back. I got a change of crews. We got Nick's back.
Hi.
Vinny's back. Steve's back. And our new volunteer, Linda's here.
I don't know where I'm looking.
And what are you doing here now?
I came to make a donation.
To Alzheimer's?
Yes.
How much? What is it?
Well, you know, I'm
Did you have a
retired. 25 I was going to give.
Whoa, let me see that.
Well, I was going to write a check, or what's
You can
the
write
deal?
a check.
Okay, can I?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll hold your mic.
Awesome.
Don't overcomplicate this, Linda. It's
Yeah,
live TV. Write that check.
If people
Write
don't,
that-
if people don't know, I'm a simple man. Look at all the money that came in today. So I'll add it there.
Okay, who did the checks get made out to?
Alan Levine.
What?
I have to deposit, and then I go to my site and I donate all the money. And I know you haven't met many honest men in California, but I'm called an honest man in Pittsburgh. My reputation precedes me.
Is it easier if I just give cash?
Yeah.
Or you could donate online if you want to, spice it up a bit.
That came right out.
I'm not giving you Smoking Jim $20 and $1 bills.
We got $25 here, folks. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. We're working on getting a cure, so thank you.
I know. The only person I knew directly that had Alzheimer's was my great uncle Rudy.
Well, tell us about him.
Well, I lived in California, so I wasn't around, but I heard stories. They used to own a hotel in the Cheswick, Harmerville area.
Yeah, I know the area.
So after they sold the business, my Aunt Mary would tell the
You
story
can hold
that
down below you.
Okay. She
Like
would
right
come
on there.
home, and he would have because he had Alzheimer's, he would have all the mattresses out on the front yard. Because I guess whatever was in his brain about running a hotel,
Was still there.
She had to laugh, you just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
have to
tough.
laugh. Yeah.
No, and it's tragic because they never get better, and they go through the stages. We were talking about that. We had Nathaniel from Alzheimer's. He talked. He didn't. I gave him 18 minutes. He talked 35 minutes because he had so much information. And with not too many people coming in, and we got people watching, you're appreciated for being in here the last 17 minutes. You got your debut on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Vinny did too. He had 3 minutes. He made a donation.
All right.
Then we brought him on 26 minutes, so he's up to 29 plus what we've done for the last 4 minutes. He's up to 33 minutes, and you got like 4 minutes in there.
Well, tell me if you know this is true.
Go ahead.
My one friend, it was her mother-in-law had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And the husband was alive, and so when they would go to visit, I think they think they're younger, or they remember their husband as being
varies.
Younger than like if they were 80
well,
or 90.
they don't even recognize you as much because my mother had many of these complications. She was 55 when she died.
That's really
So she
young.
was very young.
Sorry.
And she went through it quickly, but I've heard other people will go in there and they don't recognize them. Then
Well-
somebody else will come in and they think it's their husband because they're a younger guy.
Yes. That
So
happened
I
to
do
my
have that knowledge.
that happened to my
You
friend.
asked the right guy.
Her mother-in-law is like, yelling and really upset because she thinks my friend's husband, which is her son, is her husband.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know who this other woman is. Like,
Right.
what are you doing with my husband?
No,
But
I've
it's her
heard stories
son.
like
That's-
that. Yeah.
You have to laugh.
It's tragic.
To
Yeah.
manage it,
No
But
doubt.
I don't want to make light of something serious.
No, but we're allowed to have a sense of humor. I do with most subjects except smoking Jim. But, we carry on. But he's smoking Jim and we're not. But no, we just do that. And when he looks at this again, he'll thank us for the shout out.
Well, Al, you're a quality guy. I'm sure your mother is just
Oh,
beaming
thank
that
you.
you're doing this in memory of her and getting
thank
the
you
word
so
out in the
much.
community.
And my dad was good
You've
too.
done good.
Oh, thank you. They're my guardian angels, so they're smiling like Cheshire cats.
Now, since I'm going to the Pirate game tomorrow, can I leave to try to go buy a Roberto Clemente jersey?
Yeah. You want to go?
I want to try to buy a shirt.
Well,
And
you
be-
make that sound more suspenseful. Before I
Well,
go
the
to the
Steeler
Pirate game,
game's on at 7, and I have
can I go buy a shirt?
Yeah.
Why
we're-
wouldn't you be able to? Why is it? Who's
We're,
stopping?
we're only here for 14 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Like, can I just say, hey, thanks,
Yeah.
and leave?
Yeah, get out of here. Here, get out of here. Thank you. We
You guys are
appreciate you.
great. I did not know I was going to be on TV making up this.
I told
What do you
everybody
think-
to get a minute.
What do you think we're doing here?
What do you expect?
You got 6 minutes. Get out of here.
Well, part of the incentive to make a donation is people get live airtime. That's
Oh,
what
I
this is.
did not know that.
Yeah, that's the
If you didn't
deal
want to be
that
on
I
TV,
work.
you should have donated
Oh
online.
my
yeah.
gosh. Oh.
I'll hold the mic.
I just want to say, go Nittany Lions.
Oh, ooh. Oh.
Hold it. We are.
Penn State.
There you go. Drew, you want to come back?
Drew.
We got musical chairs here. I wanted to bring up Vinny because we got to get some conversation from him. He said he's going to college, but what are you doing there?
Yeah, so just the
A little
rough
synopsis.
summary I give everyone. I'm in my
Welcome
senior
back.
year. I'm actually past my senior year. I had to pick up another semester at Pitt. I'm studying electrical engineering, and I have I had to finish a minor as well in information sciences.
Well, we know you're a smart guy. I wanted it out to the public.
No. I mean, I tell everyone it's all about time management. It's got nothing to do with it. Well, maybe a little bit, but either way.
You can be humble. I understand that.
No, yeah, I mean that's just the rough overview I give everyone. So I'm graduating this December.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
go.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
Glad to hear
I,
that.
I commute at Pitt, so I'll still be around for all these productions and everything else. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
But I wanted some background of what you're actually doing outside of here.
Yeah. So that's kind of that kind of sums that up. I entered college, decided on engineering. I figured I was good enough at math, whatever else.
Yeah.
I've come to realize it's something that I'll be good at, but it's not necessarily where my passions are at. It's just like it's something I can do, and it's something that not everyone goes into, and so I definitely have that going.
Well, I'll give you a story about engineering.
Yeah.
I worked at the Pittsburgh Press, I got in at 18 and a half, and we had a sons list, so nepotism was legal. Relatives got hired. So this one friend of mine from Brookline, Jack Clark, one of the smartest guys I know, brilliant. He was going to be a mechanical engineer. For 2 years, he worked, we made good wages, and he goes to me, we're best friends. He goes, hey, Al, I'm going to go to Carnegie Mellon, get my engineering degree, and I'm going to throw it away. I go, Jack, what are you talking about? He goes, we make good money, and I like working here. We're stacking bundles. He could have been a mechanical engineer. We're putting comics section by section in papers, and they all go, he's crazy. I said, he's happy here. How can you argue with that? He got married, had a kid, but he graduated, and somebody goes, you hear what John did? I go, John Clark. I go, no. They go,
Michael, are you sleeping in there? Look at this.
Why are you on me?
yeah.
Live Steve reaction.
We were supposed to get Vinny in here. So my buddy, a friend of his, says, yeah, he threw his diploma away.
Wow, no kidding.
And he actually knew that he threw it away, and I talked to him a week later. I go, you did what you said you were going to do. He goes, yeah, I'll be working with you my whole career.
No kidding. Wow.
So
back in the days, there's no authenticate like that degree. That's the solid proof right there.
Well, this is back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Late 70s, early 80s.
He just didn't need it.
He didn't want it.
Ain't that something?
His dad worked there, and his grandfather worked there. So we were like, it was called mailers. We were like third generation mailers, and he just thought it was cool. And the work, it was all physical, but it wasn't no brain power really.
Yeah.
And we were all stunned by that.
Yeah, it's just something you get used to doing over and over. Yeah.
Right, and he had 2 years there and went back and got his degree, I think, in 3 years.
Wow. So why did he go back then? Was he just kind of like behind the time?
No, well, he just wanted to prove to his parents. They wanted him to get his degree.
Oh, that was it.
So he did it for his parents, who were great parents, and then he threw it away.
Oh my gosh.
So that's my other story with what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you
you have a passion for engineering, or you just
I could do it.
You
That's
like
basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
You're saying you're finding a passion in television, perhaps?
Maybe, that's definitely one
Whoa.
of the pathways I could go. I mean, it's it's funny. I was like, I gave Dave that kind of like rough summary when I went to interview, and he asked me, he's like, so how does this? How do you want to like incorporate or like, he was basically like trying to figure out how that overlapped with what I was doing at school, and I was basically like, yeah, like there's no overlap. Like,
No correlation.
No correlation. I just like BPTV. It's he said it was a learning facility. That's totally fine. That I told him I didn't do any editing or camera work or anything. He's like, yeah, that's totally fine. So here I am. I had time this summer. I didn't have an internship or anything lined up. So
I mean, technically, when you're a technician, there's always like something out there in the film industry that always needs technicians.
Right. Yeah. So I figured there might be some overlap with like I wanted to go into maybe telecommunications, like Cisco, Microsoft, all these offering. I don't know, just like telecom stuff like that, or phone lines, whatever. Anything with two people need to get in touch. Like that's what I wanted to kind of.
Wow, that is so interesting and cool.
And I figured with this, like this, roughly, I mean, you look in there with like the cable cast, that giant monolithic stack of different, like the server.
The tower, we call it.
Yeah, the tower.
The big
exactly.
tower. Yeah.
It's like that kind of stuff piques my curiosity. I want to look at that and deduce, break that down, and figure out what's going on there. So it's like there is kind of an overlap. It's just not obviously technical. It's more just like it's technical in a different way. So.
No, that's cool. Hey, I appreciate you getting some time in here and we talked to you.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to sports with the last three guys here.
All right.
Drew, you've been watching ESPN as long as you were a kid.
Yeah, a very long time.
And you still watch it now?
Yeah, from time to time I do watch it, yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
Oh, I just like the quick information. Just getting all.
You're a stat man.
Yeah, all the sports. Yeah, I love the stats. Yeah.
No, what about you, Steve?
I don't know, man. I always hear stuff about what Stephen A. Smith has to say about all the sports news that's been out there.
Yeah.
But hey, I get the real stuff when I actually watch the sports on TV or when I'm at the stadium, just like last night.
Wow. And what happened last night?
The Pirates beat the Mariners, 5-3.
And you were there. He's the new good luck charm.
Yes.
Michael Mariano was the good luck charm when they won 14-2 with 7 home runs. Michael, Steven just stepped into your spot.
What do you think about that, Michael?
It's okay.
Ah, you heard him. It's okay. How was the game for you? You were pumped up.
I mean, I was really pumped up to see them trying to beat the Mariners, but performance-wise, I know a lot of the players are getting to the end of the season, and I know they're starting to show their signs of, slowing down. But
Well, it is 162 games.
it is already 162 games. We're already in August, and the World Series is just about a couple
October.
About 2 months away, if not less.
You can do numbers, accountant.
There you go.
Matt.
Matt. Unless you say that way.
Yeah. No, but what a great game you saw. Where were you sitting at?
Row 105. Section
That's a
105.
nice section there.
So we did have a couple of fly balls that came our way, but
They got over the screen.
got over the screen. Actually, one came a little bit close to our section, but it made it over just one more seat over.
Wow.
So it was pretty good. But seeing Cruz, I think, and the other ones just at least doing a couple of good hits for singles and doubles.
Did you say Cruz and the other ones?
Cruz O'Neill.
Cruz O'Neill.
O'Neill. The rest, the rest of the story. McCutcheon at least didn't try. He tried at least to a point, but I don't know what the heck happened last night at the game. But
Well, he's been having problems.
He's
all
on the
year.
injured list now. They put him on before the game today.
Yeah.
That's right. So the fact of the matter is, only one player at least got one home run. But seeing the home run go over and up into the stands, for us, that was a win. Just to see for one.
That made your night.
That made the night.
How about the fireworks at the end? You gave me a video on that.
Oh yeah, I wish we could play the video, but the crowd was just all over the place. Bednar just threw the last pitch out, and everyone raised the jolly flag as they all won the game.
Wow.
So you gotta raise it when we win it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So
No, that's great. Thanks for your sports thing. We got 5 minutes to go. Nick, what do you got to say?
About anything? I mean,
Anything
I
on
feel like I
sports.
got the longest sports section from this telethon.
No, you
We
did,
talked
but
a lot.
I got to be at equal at the end here.
That's fair. So, ESPN. I'm sorry to say I'm not a big fan right now. I think I've talked about this on Sportsline before.
Yeah, you have.
ESPN gave us the information that phones give us now, and Stephen A. Smith gets paid to yell.
Right.
And make his opinions interesting. And I don't care what he has to say, to be honest with you. So, that's just me.
I respect that. What do you guys think about Pat McAfee?
Ooh, oh my gosh. You saved that name for the last 4
Yeah.
months. Man, I'm happy you hired Mark Caboli. Mark's such a nice guy. He tuned into our show
I
once
know
and
he did.
commented too. He's a very nice man. He's a big fan of the fan, right? The station. He likes
Big fan.
He likes Sportsline now, right? Because he saw me on.
Yeah. We appreciate him.
I like that Pat McAfee gave him a job, and Pat McAfee's a very giving guy. He also
Yeah.
gave to another fundraiser we did back in June at the fan for the firefighters.
No, he does help out.
Yeah, so he's a cool guy. Yeah.
No, that's great stuff. See, you got that in.
He's a true Yinzer. I'll tell you that much. He is definitely a true Yinzer. Pat
Mountaineer.
He's Drew. Tell him
Right
what
up
your
my alley.
favorite team is.
Ever since probably about 05, West Virginia Mountaineers. That's my college. That's
Come
my
on,
college.
people. Penn State. Your sister went to Penn State, right?
I'm rooting for West Virginia this year.
And you're Pitt, right?
Well, I like
Kinda.
both.
Well,
I'm a
now
Pitt.
wait.
I'm a Pitt Penn State guy, so I go Pitt.
You don't care about WVU, huh?
Not really.
Oh.
We went to the backyard brawl. I'll tell a little story.
Oh, we went to a lot of backyard.
We went to a few backyard brawls. There's one during our Coliseum Combat Zone event, but we're not worried.
Yeah.
We went down to West Virginia. It was one of the coldest nights ever.
Mm-hmm.
We're there. We're freezing. We're dressed warm, had all kind of patches to keep our hands warm and stuff. It's halftime. I don't even remember the score. And we get hot chocolate. Get the hot chocolate, set it down. We're watching the band and stuff. Third quarter starts. It's frozen, solid.
Wow.
Oh my God. It was frozen solid. And I'm like, Drew, we ready to go? He
We're
goes,
not leaving that
He
game.
goes, Dad, we're not leaving.
West Virginia was number 2 at the time.
I said, I'm frozen. My feet are frozen. I had boots on. We ended up leaving in the fourth quarter.
And Pitt beat them.
Pitt beat them.
Stopped the national championship game.
How about that?
Oh,
Poor
man.
WVU.
Oh,
what
that
a
hurt.
ride
That hurt.
home that was.
That hurt.
An hour of
Wait, that was 13-9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2007?
And we missed the fourth quarter. Yeah.
I still feel cold now.
It was cold. It was too cold.
Well, now your dad has something to gloat about.
I didn't. Yeah, it's not that big a deal, but no, it was a great trip down. We had a great
Yeah.
time there. It was so packed. It was unreal. We saw a gap, the park. We thought it was good, and we had to walk about a half a mile to get to the stadium.
Yeah, they're getting something right now having those games be played more frequently. I don't know what they were thinking, though, just all these stupid conferences.
I know.
People don't care about. Like, give me the regional ones. Penn State.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to.
Penn State's scared of Pitt. Maintain that opinion.
Well,
It's just what it
that's
is.
true.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, look at all the things we've
That's
done.
the
Well,
truth.
then play Pitt, maybe.
Well,
I was a student at Pitt, scared of Penn State once. Real quick, I was at a. I went to visit one of my friends. She still goes to Penn State, but at the time she was up at school, and she snuck us into the student section at Penn State. And me and my buddy, we were both students at Pitt at the time. He graduated, and we're thinking like, if they knew who we were, like they'd be scalping us.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't care what like it'd be pretty ugly. So I'm like, I'm just. I'm kind of freewheeling it. I'm not like watching the game.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Having people on the shoulders asking who they're rooting for. They're looking at me funny. So
That would be a true cat fight, considering the Lions and the Panthers fighting against each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. You're
As someone
getting.
who's never witnessed any of these backyard brawls or games or anything, I'd be experiencing it firsthand. Being a Pitt fan in the Penn State.
Well, hey,
the Penn State den.
Point
Michael, come out here real quick.
There you go.
We got a minute left.
I know.
Take my spot.
Okay.
Say some words.
Hey, Mike, join us.
Hello, everyone. It's been a great 3 hours. We have.
We're
just-
almost done. 40
Yeah.
seconds. Can you hang in there?
Yes.
Can you take us out of this?
Well, thank you for watching, everyone. We had great.
Marco
job,
Rodi just said,
Al.
good job, Al, and all the guests and crew.
Yep, that's true. Shout out to Marco. He's at the Steeler game with my uncle Ragin Rady.
Ragin Rody.
Ragin Rody.
We're good.
And a shout out to Drew, Steve, and Vinny.
And I'll close it out right now. Thank you to Nick. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Vinny. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to Drew. And I always end with, please stay Joey strong. How'd I do?
Great.
I got to go to the bathroom. All that